I'm a little burpy, so we'll see. We'll see how this ad read goes. I'm gonna try to make through it. This episode of the Snark Marks podcast is brought to you by #StopAnime. Does your dandruff-ridden, porn-addicted gamer kid bum you out, racking up your credit cards, paying grown women to act like children, and giggle on Twitch? Well, he may just be a weeb. Our team of experts will rewire that little weirdo and escort him kicking and screaming back into the real world. With a field-tested mixture of website blockers, cognitive behavioral therapy, and just the right amount of bullying, we'll get your child to stop putting like 1,000 stickers of his waifu on your car and maybe even replace them with those obnoxious ones that say my kid went to college. At #StopAnime, we see laziness and oddly specific perversion as a pyramid, and anime is the crusty, stained, smelly body pillow at the base of it. Use the promo code SNARKMARKS and we will include our new book, What to Do If Your Child Says Naisu and Asks for a Sword for Christmas. We're here to knock off that fedora, clean the crumbs out of his gamer chair, and turn your offspring from a sad, serially masturbating outcast into a happy, serial masturbating, functioning member of society. Subscribe to #StopAnime today. The theme song's taking a little bit to load.
Really killing the momentum of the
I know.
of the ad.
They paid for smoothness. They're not getting smoothness. Yeah. Why is this not loading? Oh, this is a disaster. This is a disaster.
You might think we had field tested this before.
I have quite a few times.
Yeah.
There it is. An aggressive ad.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, if they had had such a thing for professional wrestling when I was a kid, my mom probably would have scraped together her meager funds to try to send me to whatever the Jesus Camp version of pro wrestling was.
They seem to be very similar gateway drugs. Wrestling and anime, especially nowadays.
There's some crossover that I can definitely see. It was just the only thing that I cared about, and the only thing I could talk to other people about was professional wrestling. And probably Power Rangers.
If your son is ordering the Bret Hart glasses,
yeah,
and the Macho Man hat, no, the Buff Bagwell hat, can you do me a favor? Square up your camera, dog. I need you in the middle.
Hold on.
Thank you. You're too pretty to just see just the side of your face. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to give you the profile.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're avant-garde. Yeah. Welcome to Snark Marks, everybody. We are a very funny podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Once again, we are on YouTube now. So check out our YouTube. We are also on the Spotify and the Apple and all that stuff. But if you want to see us, you want to see our smiling faces, you want to see the things that we're sharing to the screen, you can watch us on YouTube.
And why wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
It's an audio visual medium now. We're covering both forms of medium.
It's unbelievable that anybody in the world just wants to hear me,
Right. That it really is an unappealing package without being able to see what you're bringing to the table visually.
Yeah. Just hear him. Yuck.
Could do without it.
Did you hear that ad read? I think my radio station's going to get some phone calls. Listen, they paid us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The cheekbones really offset the snarkiness,
That's how it works, man. You gotta look into these. I was gonna say baby blues because it sounds better, but these hazels, and you gotta see this jawline, and the oddly asymmetric face, and then you forgive some
Milky
stuff.
Way,
Yeah, that's how it works.
Andrew,
yeah,
you have recently returned from a trip.
I have.
You were on a big jet plane.
I was.
Knew exactly when you were coming back again.
Yeah, but, except for my first flight home got canceled, so I didn't know exactly when I was coming home again. Unfortunately.
How was Idaho?
It was good, man. It was only like I want to kill myself cold one time. So that's good. And it was at that time it was only like 19 degrees. The last time I went was -2, but this felt worse. We went to a choir concert because my sister's husband is a choir director, and walking back to the car, I was about to give up on everything. I was
just lay down in the street and just
I'll never be warm again. And then we had to scrape the ice off of every window in the car, which was fun. So flight there was mostly good. Hilariously, on the longer flight, because I flew to Seattle and then from Seattle to Idaho, the flight from LA to Seattle, big plane, screens in the back of the seats and stuff. I got the only seat on the plane with a broken screen.
Do they not know that you're a local radio sensation in California?
Yes, I don't think they understand what's going on here. Put one of the old people who aren't technology addicted, put a boomer in there. They don't care. They're looking out the window. They're looking at they're counting the tiles on the ceiling. You know what I mean? They know how to entertain themselves. Right. I needed something, but I had a book with me. I read my book.
Just be with my thoughts for hours. No, thank you.
Yuck City, So thankfully it was me, empty seat, very nice lady on the end. And so I watched Survivor on the empty seat next to me's screen. And I wasn't going to scoot over. I feel like that's the biggest dick move in the world. It's like if a man sees 3 empty urinals and goes directly to the middle one, Right. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Yeah. So I turned on the screen in the middle after reading a chapter of my book and got after it, man. I'm into Survivor right now.
Really? New Survivor?
No, this one, the season I'm watching right now is from 2008.
Old Survivor?
So Prime has Survivor, all 45 seasons, but only certain of them are free. You have to have Paramount Plus for the rest of them, and I don't subscribe to Paramount Plus. So
maybe you want to talk with your co-host after the podcast.
Yes, absolutely, about other things and not stealing. But absolutely. Thank you. Because it's fun, man. I like Survivor. I get why people like it.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna say initially, doesn't reality TV not age well? But I watch old seasons of The Challenge, that MTV sort of Survivor-y show, because I don't know who won, because I don't pay attention. And exactly. I could Google it if I want, but maybe the best thing is no one is going to spoil like Survivor season 17 for you.
How unbelievable would that be? I think there would be fisticuffs. It'd be like, how you've been researching me. This is a targeted attack. I don't understand how this happened. But
because the Usual Suspects only ends one way, And so like, if I know somebody who's never seen it, I could, were I the type of person to do it, spoil the ending for them. But Survivor is such a or any of those shows. I watch Ink Master. I'm watching the new Ink Master with Benji Madden.
Hell yeah, dude!
Wait, it's one of the. It might be Joel. It's one of the Maddens.
Who cares? Who can tell the Maddens apart?
Right. They got him instead of Dave Navarro.
Oh, excuse. Does he have a flat build hat? Oh, he's a Madden brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Which downgrade guitar wise. Guitar God player wise, but maybe upgrade person wise.
Yeah, see, is one of the Maddens a guitar player?
Yeah, I think Benji plays guitar. I think he's the guitarist.
I think the lead guitarist is that Billy guy from Good Charlotte, the guy who was like super emo back in the day, who would have the swoopy and the fucking.
I thought they do play bass. Are there 5 people in Good Charlotte or 4 people?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure. Let me look.
Because I thought the super skinny twig emo guy was the bass player.
See, I think he is a guitar player.
Oh, no. They might have chubby bass player, which is an emo staple.
So bass is a guy named Paul Thomas.
Okay.
They've got Benji Madden plays guitar, yes. And drums? What? No, wait. No. That's backing and lead vocals. The color coordination on this Wikipedia page is problematic. But Benji Madden plays guitar and vocals. Billy Martin has some guitar and vocals.
Okay.
And then, so I think for some reason I always thought that Billy was, Billy. Oh, Billy and Benji switch off playing lead and rhythm apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that he played one of them. You know, I just couldn't remember if there was another guitar player or not.
Man, two guys in Good Charlotte. One of them has been in the band the whole time. The other one almost the whole time. Do not have Wikipedia pages. Imagine.
Yeah, Paul Thomas, bass player, no Wikipedia page.
The drummer. I know you're probably looking at their wiki right now, but would you have been able to guess that their drummer's name is Dean Butterworth?
I would have zero guess that would be his name. That would be any person's name is beyond me.
That is a pitcher from the 1890s in baseball who threw 600 innings.
Yeah, I was gonna say somehow has 32 wins in one season.
Yeah. That's Dean. Happy Dean Butterworth.
Yeah, he has the record for the slowest pitch that struck someone out. It's some obscure record.
He called it the Slowy.
Yeah, they could see it, but they couldn't track it. It
frustrated came hitters. They got mad before it got there.
They fell asleep and it went right past them.
Word has it he threw it to Daffy Dean, and Dean grinded his teeth down to nubs before the ball got there. The team doctor was also the shortstop.
So the Maddens...
Johnny's McGillicuddy. Sorry.
Yeah, the Madden brothers formed Good Charlotte after seeing a Beastie Boys show.
Hell yeah, dude.
So imagine all that happening at once.
I feel like because I like Good Charlotte, but I feel like the Beastie Boys probably don't like Good Charlotte, and I wonder how they feel about that.
That's the thing that they inspired.
Yeah, like what if I stayed in comedy and then like Frank Caliendo is like, I saw Andrew Idell, man.
I saw him one night and I was like, I have to be in comedy.
Yeah, I gotta do that shit.
Yeah.
I heard his Jesse Ventura, and it made me get into all of the various amazing Bill Clinton impressions that I do.
Yeah, the various impressions I do. Have you heard my In a World guy?
Yeah, the fucking Pablo Francisco. Pablo Francisco was on the Opie and Anthony show one time, and he would not stop no matter what they did. They'd be like, hey man, I went to the movie theaters too on the nose. He'd be like, I went and washed my car the other day. He's like, I had a car wash. He's wet, it's all over the place. And then they'd be like, oh man, I went to the grocery store, fucking bell peppers. Like he wouldn't stop doing it, and as soon as they left you could hear them go, and he's gone. And Anthony started going, that's the most fucking annoying guy I've ever seen in my life. And people loved Pablo Francisco, dude. We need to do one of these days a Pablo Francisco versus Frank Caliendo versus Ari Spears impression off.
What a three-way match.
I know.
Yeah.
Those are the three circles of hell.
Yeah, that's the heavyweight title. I don't know. Ari Spears' Shaq was always very funny to me. I liked his Shaq impression was good.
Yeah, but he would I think he would cross his eyes when he did Shaq to be funnier.
Yeah, it's a problem now.
A little too much, too much. But I do think his Shaq was a decent impression at least. Frank Caliendo's got a couple decent impressions. He's just annoying as shit,
Yeah, his John Madden was good.
His John Madden was good. And then they started putting him on Fox Sunday Game of the Week and shit. And it's like, all right, we don't like him that much.
Yeah, that's it's not every week funny. You know? Even the SNL people who do impressions don't do Stefan every week. You give it a rest.
Dude, I never liked Alec Baldwin's Trump. I thought it was just kind of circle jerky, because it's not a good impression,
right?
At all. And it was the Trump impression that everybody talked about and looked to. Their Trump impression now are pretty bad, but Shane Gillis might have the best Trump impression I've ever seen.
I was gonna say, Shane Gillis is the guy killing it, but they're not gonna give Shane Gillis credit because Shane Gillis also, he doesn't love Donald Trump, but he also talks about how funny Donald Trump is, and like there's no room for
Dude,
that in the impression.
I gotta
You
be
know?
honest, man. Trump said some shit about. Have you heard about the Panera Bread lemonade?
No, I don't know anything about that.
So there's a lemonade at Panera Bread that 2 people have died after drinking.
Good Lord.
So it's like, I don't know any other details. I just know 2 people have died after drinking the Panera Bread lemonade, and Donald Trump was talking. Apparently, I'm pretty. Oh, according to Forbes, this is digitally altered and fake. So I'm gonna go ahead and not say that Donald Trump said that. Listen,
Right.
I've been caught.
Way to go.
I've been had.
Yeah, the gotcha media. They got you.
Yeah, it's the fake news. I thought I had corroborated it earlier because somebody I got duped by a thing where they posted it to Forbes, but they must have fucked with the headline or something. I didn't click it, but I thought it was like, oh Jesus, he really did say that. But
Right.
it is funny. It was everything is bad under Biden. Even the lemonade is killing people. Did you see that? People drink lemonade and die. The lemonade didn't kill you when I was president. It was tasty and fun to drink. We love the lemonade, didn't we? We did, but not under Biden. Bacon is more money. Gas is more money. The lemonade is more money, and it kills you. When life hands you lemons, Joe Biden kills you with them.
That's a we got no money, we got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah.
Joke. Like, is it more indicting that it seems like it could be real because it seems like a thing he could say? Like it does.
Dude.
As a person, he's such a caricature. Like almost anything could be a thing that he could have said.
I watched a video the other day where he was talking. I can't remember what he was talking about, but he's like, "I'm for us." You know that, and you know how you spell us? U.S. I just thought about that right now. Nobody will give me credit for being a genius. They don't say Trump's a genius. And he's like, and then he starts talking about how he's handsome.
Yeah, of course he does.
I just wish he wasn't the fucking leader of the free world at one point, and possibly the next one, because it would be great. I'd be on board. I'd be for it.
That's so Idaho good then.
Oh yeah, Idaho good. I woke up at 4 a.m. to go home, and my flight had been canceled. And then the lady on the phone was a nightmare and was not helpful. But Kyle on the text chat, because I had phone chat and text chat going, because I'm gonna miss my plane. It's 4 a.m. I get to go to sleep when I figure this out, so we figured it out. It's crazy that they could just cancel flights, and then anyway. I don't want to be this guy. Delta's, look, I'm gonna do it. Delta's fucking website, dude. Their website. They're like, hey, click here to reschedule your flight. You know what you have to do? It's like, where do you want to take off from? Where do you want to land? And then there's a time, a date and a time next to it. Like, what time do you want to take off? What day do you want to take off? What time do you want to take off? And it doesn't give you options. It's not like, hey, here's our AI has found the best next flight for you. You literally have to go, okay, I can't take off at 6:30 a.m. Let's try 7 a.m. Oh, no flights? Okay, let's try 7:30 a.m. Okay, no flights? Let's try 8 a.m. Okay, no flights. All the way through. You have to keep changing the time. There's no
manually, you have to do it.
Yes. And it's not, they give you nothing otherwise. You have to find a time that there's a flight, or you are just out of luck. So I finally got him on the text chat. And
that seems weird considering they canceled your flight. Like, you can't just log in and they're like, hey, do you still want to go back to LA? Yes, of course I do.
Do you still need to go home?
Yeah, that's why I was initially on the other plane, because I need to go home.
And so the guy was like, I don't have any flights till tomorrow, sorry. And I was like, hey, how about the other airports that are near here? How about you tell me like that? And he's like, oh yeah, I got a direct flight leaving in a few hours. Oh, cool.
Why do you have to pull teeth with Kyle from Delta to get
just give me the options, Kyle. Let me, as a grown man, say, no, that airport's a little bit too far away. It's only an hour and a half from where I am. It's only 45 minutes from the airport that you fucked me at. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's also funny because it's like, again, like, you had to think of it. Like Kyle was just like, I got nothing. And then you're like, what about a different airport? And he's like, what about a different airport? Different airports
Holy
have planes too.
Yeah. Good God, you're a genius. You ever thought about working for Delta?
Yeah.
The lady on the phone was like,
you could
so the lady on the phone,
revolutionize air flight.
yeah. Well, how do we never think of fucking other airports? This is a abstract thought you got going here. The lady on the phone was with Expedia. She wasn't with Delta, and she was like, I was like, hey, my flight got canceled, and she was like, okay, let me look into this for you. And she was gone for a while, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting on my luggage, and my sister's sitting there, and she comes back after a while, and she's like, okay, so I'm seeing here that your flight was originally scheduled to leave at 6:05 a.m. and it is now scheduled to leave at 6:35 a.m. And I said, I can't remember her name. I said her name, and I said, you are talking about a flight schedule change that happened like 3 weeks ago or a month ago. I got my email about that. The flight in question that we are discussing right now has been canceled. That flight's not leaving at any time. And she was like, oh, okay, sorry. And then she leaves again for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then she comes back and she's like, oh, yeah, so we're with Expedia. You got to talk to Delta because Expedia doesn't tell us about these things. What? They don't tell you when the flight's been canceled?
No.
So then thankfully, because Kyle was losing the race at first. Kyle was just not being very responsive. I don't know if he was as tired as I was. He was like, you remember when I worked at the bank and I would work from home and I would clock in and go to sleep?
Yes, I do remember that.
I think Kyle was doing that and waiting for the ding and then doing his job, you know? But Kyle eventually is the one that figured it out for me. So big ups to Kyle.
I have a customer service story.
Okay.
Recently, on a Sunday, I did not need to drive to the church that I play drums at on Sundays. The guy who runs the worship was like, I'll just do an acoustic set because we don't have a bass player, so there's no reason for you to drive all the way here. And I was like, dope, I will sleep in and watch football. That sounds awesome. And me and my wife were sitting on the couch, and I was like, I think I want an omelet for breakfast. So I used DoorDash.
And you snapped your fingers and she got up and put an apron on? Huh?
No.
Huh?
So
No?
Wait till I tell her. She's gonna.
Yeah.
She's been watching a lot of wrestling. She will body slam you if necessary. So, no. So I was like, let's order breakfast. Like, we're both home. That's not a thing that normally happens on Sunday. Normally, I don't get home till like around lunch. So I have the DoorDash set up for my work and my home. The addresses, and normally it will, when I log in, be like, hey, you're not at the bank address. It seems like you're at your home address.
Yeah.
It didn't do that. And that is not the fault of the app. I'm putting that on me. I should have noticed.
You should verify, yes.
Right. Normally it does it for me automatically.
Yeah.
So I order the food and then I get the message that's like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, well, no, you're not. And they're like, yeah, I'm at, the bank address. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, that's not the right address. I was like, it needs to be this other address. And she's like, okay, hold on. Let me talk to DoorDash. Because she's like, I can't bring it somewhere else without telling them because that's not where they said you were going to send the food. And I was like,
their hands are real tied with stuff. The same thing with Uber.
Right. And I was like, okay, dope. It's my fault. I'm not mad at you. And I was like, look, if we have to pay extra, if you want, like, I'll give you a bigger tip, whatever needs to happen. It was my bad, but bring me the food. Right. And so then I get a call from DoorDash, and the DoorDash guy is like, did you order the food? Yes. Did you order it to that address? Yes. It's not supposed to go to that address. No. Well, it's too far to deliver. So your options are, we can either cancel your order or you can get it from where you said you were going to get it from. And I was like, what do you mean too far? He's like, it's too far. And I was like, it's like 2 miles. That like I could see the restaurant we ordered the food from my house. Like, what is, and he was just like, those are the options. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go get it because I don't want to not, because also if I cancel it, I don't get a refund.
Yeah, you still have to pay for the food.
Right. So I was like, well, you're really tying my hands here, DoorDash guy.
Kyle.
Yeah,
Let's call
Kyle.
him Kyle. It's the same guy.
So then I drive to go get it. And I tell the lady, I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. It'll be like 10 minutes. And she's like, okay. And then I get there. She's not there. She's just left the food at the door of the bank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you couldn't just wait to hand me the food, like, or tell me that it's there or whatever. And I'm like, the person I am, you know how I am. I'm like, it's been
you're
sitting
terrified.
here. Yeah, what if somebody fucked with my food?
There's meth in this food.
What if they put stuff in my juice? And
Yeah.
now I have tainted juice. But I got over it. I drank the juice and I'm fine.
You ate the food?
Yeah, I ate the food.
What kind of omelet did you get?
I got a cheddar and sausage omelet with country potatoes and sourdough bread. So,
do you consider country potatoes a treat over hash browns?
No, I don't really like hash browns from a restaurant.
That's fucking crazy. I'm not saying that it's not crazy to get country potatoes. Country potatoes are good too.
Yeah.
You don't like hash browns?
I like here's the thing, I'm trash. I like the McDonald's hash brown.
The McDonald's hash brown is amazing. It's very good.
I like fast food hash brown, but like all the restaurant, even from like, you know, the places that have grills and stuff, they always just seem mushy to me, and I don't really like the texture, and I don't feel like they're seasoned very much. Like I have to do all the seasoning legwork myself.
Yeah.
But country potatoes, they get like crispy, and they usually have like onions or peppers with them. Like I think that's a better potato experience for me. Personally.
That's fair. I don't think that's a treat situation, but like I will eat a swimming pool full of restaurant hash browns. That might be. We talked about the food challenge thing last week.
Yeah.
I think when I'm eating restaurant hash browns, I think my stomach turns into Mary Poppins' purse. Where you can fit an umbrella and a Rolls Royce in there. You know what I mean? Right. I should have said Buick. Buick's much funnier. But I can't stop eating those.
Yeah, it's like that's your Legend of John Henry's Hammer. It's you versus a machine eating hash browns.
Exactly.
The machine explodes and
the machine explodes, and then I die of satisfaction afterwards.
Yeah.
Doesn't John Henry die after that?
He did. Yeah, the next
heart explodes or something.
The next day, yeah. He's too tired, but the machine couldn't beat him. You know.
Yeah, fuck a machine, dude. Rage against that motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck that machine. So I was just, that happened, and then we went to a like Christmas in the town that I'm from, Exeter. Every year, the Thursdays after Thanksgiving but before Christmas, they like open up the downtown area at night, and all the shops stay open, and they do like handsome cab rides and hot cocoa, and you can shop at night, and it's like a whole thing.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like,
yeah, I like stuff like that.
So me and Sarah went to meet up with some friends of mine for dinner, and we were going to a brewery that had a food truck, and the food truck was apparently very busy. And so my friend was like, "Do you want me to order for you now, and we'll get it, you know, or then it'll be here?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's like an hour before we get there. Should we order it now or whatever?" So like 20 minutes before we got there, she put the order in. I get there. We're waiting like 30 minutes. Then the little buzzer buzzes. And so I go up to the food truck, and the guy's like, "What's your number?" And I was like, 19. And he goes, "Okay, it'll just be a minute." And I was like, "Well, why did the thing buzz if the food's not ready?" So
I don't know if you understand, sir. When this thing buzzes, Dusty gets hungry.
Yeah, that means it's time to munch. Like,
yeah.
I was perfectly...
Did you pre-buzz? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Somebody pre-buzzed?
I was like, look, I'm happy over there waiting for the food to get made. The buzzer indicates the food is ready. Yeah. So...
my glands are preparing.
Yeah, I'm ready. I ordered a smash burger that had jalapeno poppers in it.
God damn.
Like, yeah. And I was excited. That's how, you know, I didn't eat lunch that day because I was like, okay, I'm going to have this smash burger for dinner. Like I forego the calories at lunch so that I can have this burger and feel like
So,
reasonable about it.
so now you're basically just standing there doing the pee-pee dance.
Right. So I'm standing there for like 20 more minutes. And every couple of minutes, the dude comes over and he's like, okay, almost ready. And I'm like, does that mean a different thing to you than it means to me?
How
And
long ago did the cow die? Did the cow just die? Is that what
Yeah.
you're waiting for?
Are you hugging the cow and taking it around to its relatives
Let me
to
guess.
say goodbye?
You gave this cow a name,
Yeah.
and now you're struggling.
Yeah. Now you can't
You want me
kill
to shoot the fucking cow? I'll shoot
Yeah.
the fucking cow.
Now you can't kill Roberto, but I want a smash burger. So and the lady
Cal Ripken Jr.
the lady behind me, Moog and Freeman, you can't just kill him. The lady behind me in a harbinger of doom is like, I've been waiting an hour for a tri-tip burrito I ordered, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
So
Gordon Ramsay's in the back screaming at
yeah,
everybody.
he's calling them a donkey and all the refire the risotto. Finally, we're talking, we've been there for 30 minutes waiting, and I've been waiting since the buzzer went off an additional 30 minutes plus, probably. The dude finally comes over and he goes, we don't have any more jalapeno poppers and we're out of burger patties. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, we're out of...
We don't have any of the things we need to make your... Would you like a bun?
And right, so he was like, I was like, okay, so I didn't say what the fuck are you doing, because like I try to be reasonably calm in these situations.
Yeah, me too. There's nothing you can do really.
Right, being upset's not going to help, and like that guy, also that guy doesn't care. Like no matter how mad you are, that guy, it's not going to affect him.
The first thing you told me when you said she waited an hour for what, a tri-tip sandwich or something like that?
Yeah,
tri-tip burrito.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was, oh man, the people working there are miserable. This is the worst night of their life. I've been in that situation. Not that crazy, like in terms of it taking an hour. But I worked at a restaurant during the Christmas parade in Porterville, and we were just steady making hot chocolates for like 4 hours, and people wanted to kill themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it.
They were slammed. They were like, they were unprepared.
Hey, buy more stuff, asshole.
Right. So I was like, okay, so what do we do? Like,
yeah.
And he's like, well, you can order something else. And I was like, there's no way I'm ordering something else. Or we could refund your money and you can go somewhere else. And I was like, just give me my money.
Yeah.
And, first he asked me, what's your order? And I was like, I don't know, whatever ticket 19 is. Because that's what what I ordered an hour ago in the time before.
You've had an hour and 15 minutes to study my order.
Yeah,
okay?
It's been up there. The ring has been lost for as long as my order has been waiting. Smeagol has found the ring now. That's long forgotten.
You just keep giving them Lord of the Rings updates.
Yeah, like this is the third age of man in Middle Earth, all right? Where is my burger? So I was like, in my head, same thing. I was like, you didn't count how many patties you have versus how many burgers have been ordered. Like, what's your system here, man? Like,
this is the bear. It's probably because they allowed online orders. That's probably what it was. Or was it a call in?
No, she was there. My friend was already there, so she walked up and ordered.
Okay.
So, but they were slammed. I saw like 10 tickets, and every person had the same story I had. I've been waiting 45 minutes.
That's crazy.
Food. And so they gave me my money back, and we went to a taco truck. And the taco truck people, when I tried to order nachos, were like, we'd love to make you nachos, just so you know, we don't have any beans or pico de gallo. And I was like, awesome. Thanks for telling me.
There's not a bean left in this entire county.
Yeah, I was like, I'll have street asada tacos in that case. Thanks for not making me wait an hour to tell me you don't have the stuff you need to make the food I ordered.
Oh man,
wild.
Can you was the first one a food truck?
It was a food truck, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it like a long-standing food truck?
I think they are new.
In Exeter? Okay. So they're amateurs.
Yeah.
I was gonna have you text me the name or put it in the chat so I can look up their Yelp score and see if
it's
if
called
people are
Up and
complaining.
Smoke.
Okay,
Of course it is.
All right.
But they're not the only
Oh my God.
food truck called Up and Smoke. They're like a barbecue, like tri-tip burritos, smash burgers. Apparently the food is awesome. It's supposed to be delicious, which I believe because I saw my friends eating the food that they had ordered. But I don't have any firsthand accounting for that.
Yeah, I'm not finding. I wanted to see like. It'd be funny if it was like I waited 3 hours and got salmonella.
The problem is
there's
a lot of food trucks called Up and Smoke because I was trying to find their menu earlier in the day to order or to like figure out what I wanted. And there's lots of there's lots of food trucks called Up and Smoke because we live in California, as you could imagine.
Yeah, I'm not seeing one that's like that's standing out. Man, I wanted to read it. I wanted to leave a bad review from the Snark Marks podcast on their thing.
I'll find their Instagram later. I have their Instagram somewhere.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah, and send it to you. But yeah, I was having a problem, and it takes a lot for me to get upset in these kind of situations. But I was like, I was at what is the boiling point for me. Where I was just like, mostly because it's just like, I wasted all this time. Dude, you could have just told me, like, why'd you tell me the food was almost ready? You just lied to my face because the food wasn't even being made yet because then you tried to make it and you didn't have the stuff to make it. So now I know.
How long was there between it's going to be out in a minute to we don't have anything?
Conservatively, like a half hour. Like enough time where my friend's wife came over and was like, is everything okay? And I was like, I'm just waiting for the food. He keeps telling me it's almost ready. That's the problem. To start with, it's almost ready, and then return 30 minutes later with we don't got it is a big problem.
Yeah, it should be called We Don't Got It Burger.
Right. If you would have just told me when the thing beeped, hey, I'm so sorry, we oversold and we don't have any more ingredients. Hey man, it happens. I'd be a little bit perturbed, probably, but like it'd be a lot easier. But you straight up lied because you told me it was almost ready and it wasn't nearly almost ready.
That's so funny. That's so funny. It means that they were like, he saw your number on the list, like
right.
It was within sight. We're gonna start making that pretty soon, but
right. He was like,
that's why In-N-Out's undefeated.
Yeah, we went the other night. Long line, 10 minutes. We were done. We were back.
Same
home.
thing. I went yesterday to In-N-Out. Really long drive-through line, like one of those that you're embarrassed to get in. You're like, what are we doing? What are we as society? There's a Chick-fil-A right there. You know,
right. At least split the line.
Yeah.
You know?
They got me through quickly. The lady standing going through the line, taking everybody's order, was so pleasant, very smiling at the right times.
Right.
Because, they are instructed, they're trained to smile when they talk to you. I've had experience working in a restaurant. They told me I didn't smile enough. I didn't change at all because I was like, look, I'm not going to fake smile at these people. Right. I'm being nice to them. You know what I mean? You don't hear the tone in my voice. But she was perfect timing of the smiles, real smiles, taking my order, took it swiftly, said it back to me impeccably. They never stumble.
No.
They're orators at the In-N-Out. And then smooth all the way through that line.
They're never flummoxed. You could order like an 8-patty burger and they'd just be like, okay, so that's an 8-patty burger with animal fries, 2 milkshakes, and a Coke. Will you be eating that in the car or taking it home? They're like, nothing shocks them.
Yeah, it's like you're not even going to roll your eyes like at Taco Bell and they're like, oh my God, he got 2 burritos. Fuck. Yeah. In-N-Out, we salute you. Sorry to all the hipsters out there who want to say that In-N-Out stinks and you don't like their fries. And you know what? Their fries don't like you. Okay, you fucking loser.
Hang their jersey in the rafters.
Man. Yeah. It's just the best. Just simply the best.
I wonder if they the ones that we credit with the bringing out employees to take the order in the line, because that is an ingenious mechanism.
They're the first ones I saw. At least
Chick-fil-A does that too, but I think I saw In-N-Out do it first because Sarah and I were talking about it. It's like they've done it perfectly. The menu is streamlined. They don't have any like weird bullshit. You can't order shrimp at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
So like they know exactly what they're making. They're just making burger patties and they're making grilled cheeses and they're making fries and shakes. And that's like it, you know? And so like you're always just making burger patties because you know more burgers are coming.
And I've never been to one that I thought was understaffed, you know, because sometimes you go to a place like I got Burger King at the airport the other day. I'm not proud of it. Okay, I got chicken fries.
What a low, piece for you.
There's a Quiznos right there. There's only like 12 Quiznos left in the country, and I went to Burger King because I thought it was going to be faster.
Yeah,
but they had let me just say they had a crew. Okay, the lady who took my order, at least at one point of her life, was heavily addicted to drugs. All of her teeth are brand spanking new. Everything else rode hard, bro.
Every Burger King is filled with petty criminals and ex-convicts, but ex-convicts who didn't steal money, important enough so that they can still work at the Burger King.
Yeah,
you know?
And you know they had a guy there, maybe mid-20s, maybe a little older than that. Greasiest long hair I've ever seen in my life. Like it was past his shoulders. It was almost actively dripping onto the food when he was doing stuff. No hairnet. He had a hat on, but it wasn't doing anything. This guy looked gross.
Yeah.
And then there was a bumbly old lady that was like basically like like the guy in the office that trips and spills the chili all over the place. That was this lady. Everybody's order, she'd be like, I'd be hearing her take an order, and they'd be like, no tomatoes, and then she'd be like, okay, with tomatoes. They'd be like, no tomatoes. Like she was doing it to everybody.
Yeah,
this was a fucking scene, dog, and it took way too long. Sorry, this is a long-winded story about Burger King almost making me lose a flight because it took a long time to make chicken fries. But
should have went to the Quiznos, man.
I should have went to the Quiznos,
yeah.
but they didn't have they had a very limited menu. Quiznos is dying, dog.
Yeah, I live in a pretty big city now, like of 500,000 people, maybe more. We have trains you can hear.
Yeah,
but
the trains run on time too.
I don't think that there's a Quiznos remaining.
I don't think there is either because I think the closest one to
there is still one in Visalia, like weirdly in like a gas station somewhere. I don't know where they're getting their supplies these days. Like the Quiznos headquarters probably is stocked with raccoons and opossums these days.
Yeah. It looks like there's one on Peach Avenue.
Oh shit! I might have to hit up a Quiznos chicken carbonara sandwich. Hot damn! What a time!
That's the thing. At the airport, at least. No chicken carbonara. I was gonna get the chicken carbonara. That's why I didn't go to the Quiznos.
That's fucked up, dude.
Because I was like, I don't want the Italian sandwich at Quiznos. I want the chicken carbonara. Chicken carbonara at Quiznos.
Yeah, they toast the bread. So,
hold on their website, Fresno, California. Yeah, there's one on McKinley and Peach in Fresno. There's one in Fowler. So you're gonna want to go to the Fresno one, and let me know how it goes.
But think about there's one. You know, and they have really good broccoli cheddar soup, or at least they used to. I don't know.
The closest one to my house in Bakersfield is the Visalia one. It's 70 miles away.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like there's a Exxon 76 station, and inside of that Exxon is a Quiznos.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like so Quiznos. I watched a YouTube video on what happened, and they just got too big for their britches, and they were over franchising. They were letting everybody franchise,
expanding too fast.
They weren't giving, like, they owed so much money to the people franchising Quiznos. Like, they would basically they would take the money because it costs money to franchise a Quiznos, right? You have to give the Quiznos Corporation money to franchise their store, but they would take the money and then they would never find you a location. Yeah. And like. It was basically like they would take your money and then they run out of jalapeno poppers. Right. It was like that's what happened to Quiznos, and I'm sure there was more to it, but that seems to be what really crippled them. They just got too big for their britches.
Well, I know they opened one in Exeter whenever they opened Movie Gallery. It was like
there's one in Porterville too.
Yeah, and then what I always heard, because I'd go over there obviously for lunch, what I always heard was the pay, you were always behind on pay at Quiznos.
Yeah.
It was like the paychecks never came on time.
Yeah. And then when they were putting all these resources into things, they're doing the Quiznos Sub video commercials and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Subway hits with the $5 foot long. And
Yeah.
you're fucked.
Well, because
I don't know.
The thing
Go ahead.
is, Subway is over franchised. There's a Subway every goddamn corner, and Subway stinks. Just for the record, rubber stamped, Subway stinks.
Subway, listen, and yeah, there's almost nobody on the planet that would say that Subway makes better sandwiches than Quiznos. I am seeing the chicken carbonara on their website, by the way, so you're gonna have to go and check it out for me.
Yeah, Subway stinks. It's like, what is there? Am I probably gonna eat Subway 1 to 10 more times in my life? Yes, but I'm not ever gonna be stoked about it. Like,
yeah, I'll probably say I'll give Subway maybe like 12 to 15 more times in my life. I ain't going 16 times in the rest of my life.
Well, and I'm never going to want to go. It's always just like, well, I've had everything else that's around, or like, oh yeah, spicy Italian sandwich. That's a thing that exists that I can get.
There's a Subway in this gas station.
Yeah, it's a C plus. I've never had a better experience at Subway than a C plus. What they should do is pivot and just sell the cookies, because the cookies are phenomenal. Those are delicious cookies.
Well, those are just like Orville Redenbacher's shits or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
right.
at when I worked at the place,
thing in there. Well, except Cheetos and like none of the stuff they make is any good. All the people they collaborate with are delicious.
The only thing I'll give them is sweet onion sauce. The sweet onion chicken teriyaki is a good concoction. But I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. Sweet onion chicken teriyaki is one of the least healthy things you can get at any fast food restaurant. It is sugar
calories.
and salt. It is. That's all it is sugar and salt. You are putting caramel on fucking bacon. Like it is. It's crazy how bad for it.
Well, and you're eating their quote unquote bread, which is sugary as shit, which is why it tastes so good.
They should have to call it. They should when they made that determination. They should have had to, like, all their breads are called horseshit bread. Like, I like the Italian herbs and cheese horseshit bread. You know?
Of the breads, the Italian herb and cheese is the best horseshit bread. But like Quiznos, substantially better than Subway taste wise. I'm sure Quiznos is also remarkably bad for you.
God, I want one of those chicken carbonaras. Holy shit!
There's no way it's good for you. But they had the market edge, except they're Betamax and Subway's VHS. You know, they just then I guess in that analogy, porn would be the $5 foot long.
Porn was Jared Fogle.
That's too true.
It's unfortunately too true.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess how many Quiznos are left? There was at one point over 4,000 Quiznos.
I did not look, but I did see that video. It is 2 digits, correct?
No, I'm seeing 3 digits as of.
Oh, you're seeing 3 digits
as of January 2023.
See, I was gonna guess like 70, but what are you seeing?
I am seeing. Well, this is a bad news. January 28th, 2022, there were 238 Quiznos left.
Yeah.
January 13th, 2023, 170 Quiznos left.
Oh man.
You don't want the number to keep shrinking. That's a bad sign.
No, eventually there's going to be negative Quiznos.
But they're going to have to sell that chicken carbonara wholesale on Amazon, and that's when I swoop in, baby.
Dude, as soon as Subway got a toaster, they were fucked, bro.
Yeah.
They got Jared a toaster and a $5 foot long, and you were screwed.
And all they had was like the weird potato guys screaming Quiznos.
Oh man, yeah. They have a pepper bar.
Yeah, I mean, look, they are again, like so much better than Subway. Even Deli Delicious. I don't know if Deli Delicious is like a national thing, but Deli Delicious is way better than Subway. There's Deli Delicious
Dude,
by my house. That actually might lead to much less Subway consumption. That's good.
The Deli Delicious Philly sandwich is very good.
Yeah.
Very
No.
good. Let me see.
chicken
They
carbonara.
seem to be a California company. The Deli
Okay.
Delicious.
This can't be true. The chicken carbonara calories range from 440 to 1350.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. That's got to be size, and options. So like the 440's got to be the smallest size, and you don't get the Alfredo sauce and no bacon or something like that. You know what I mean?
1350, while a lot of calories, is not like an insane amount of calories for what is on this sandwich. I thought, like,
kind of, but like if you think about it, so just I'm getting it on the screen here. A 3x3 and animal fries from In-N-Out is like 1,500 calories.
Right. That's it's just I thought it would be like a calorie bomb, you know, like some of the shit you can get at like Cheesecake Factory or whatever. And it's not, you know. Oh, the Black Angus Steakhouse sandwich also pretty delicious from Quiznos. God damn it, I might go to Quiznos tomorrow. It might be a Quiznos day for me.
I gotta hear about it. Yeah, so we're talking 1,400 calories for a 3x3 and animal fries at In-N-Out. So
that's crazy.
I would about the same for the biggest chicken carbonara. Yeah, because that's what I've been getting is a 3x3 and animal fries. And
that's a lot of food, dude.
Dusty, I throw that shit down and I feel fine afterwards.
I'm glad for you. Can you believe the Black Angus Steakhouse sub is less calories than the chicken carbonara?
Black Angus Steakhouse sub?
Yeah.
I want to see what it looks like first.
We've got melted provolone, cheddar cheese, sauteed mushrooms and onions, zesty grill sauce, and rosemary parmesan bread. And of course, served toasted.
Oh yeah, it's got to be served toasted. It's got to be the Parmesan sauce, maybe. I'm feeling like the Parmesan sauce probably has a lot.
I think the Alfredo sauce and the bacon is probably where you're getting most of your calories in the chicken carbonara.
It's interesting. The chicken carbonara low end calories is lower than the other one's low end calories, but the high end calories is higher than the other one's calories. So something's carrying that weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might just be more bread. You know, who knows?
It could be. So I watched episode 3 of Get Back.
Okay,
Beatles.
I have still not watched. I've only watched episode 1. Still.
Did you enjoy episode 1?
I did. They're just like I know this is like a cop out. They're just long. It's just really hard to find like 3 consecutive hours to watch old Beatles footage. You know.
I'll never dispute too long. You have to understand. You
but
gotta know who you're talking to.
I went and saw Killers of the Flower Moon twice, so I don't know.
I'm a too long foo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're a too long fool, is what you are.
But episode 3 is the end of the episode 3 is the rooftop concert.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that 3 tracks from Let It Be are direct recordings from the rooftop concert. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah, like that they took it from that.
If you listen to Dig a Pony, you know Dig a Pony?
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
You know how they false start on the album?
Yeah.
Because they false started on the rooftop concert. They just didn't edit that out.
Interesting. I didn't.
Yeah. So it's Dig a Pony. I can't remember the 3. It's like one after 909, Dig a Pony, and either I Me Mine or Get Back. I can't remember. I think it's Get Back.
I mean, for being 1960s recordings, they sound really good on the albums.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. It's like it was windy as shit up there. They're outside. Yeah. There's people all over the place. And I never noticed. Like, and that's a bit of an indictment on my Beatles fandom to not know that, to be honest. But like, it's cool to find out.
Just to quickly go back to Get Back.
Sorry to walk us away.
No. The pasta carbonara from Cheesecake Factory, which is spaghetti with smoked bacon, green beans, and garlic parmesan cream sauce, 2,030 calories.
From Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah,
I gotta see what this looks like.
that's the most like that's your whole day if you're adhering to the recommended guidelines or whatever. Uh, that's all you're getting is this. Hold on, I can send you the picture, and it looks
Pasta
good.
carbonara with chicken?
This is just pasta carbonara. If you add grilled chicken, it's 220 extra calories.
Oh, dude, and they do this stupid American bullshit where they put fucking peas. Why does carbonara need peas? Why are we doing this?
I have no idea.
Carbonara is 5 ingredients, Dusty.
Yeah.
It is pasta, it is eggs, it is black pepper, and it's cheese and a cured meat. It's normally guanciale for the cured meat, which is beef cheek, and I think pecorino romano for the cheese. I think I have that wrong. I can't remember what the like authentic Italian cheese to use is, but you can use Parmesan if you want. Okay.
Right.
For some reason, it comes over to America, and we need a treat, and our treat is in the form of peas. We put peas in carbonara.
Peas are never a treat. Don't you dare.
I don't get it. I don't understand why we're putting peas in this fucking thing. Just have a side salad if you want to get some greens.
Well, there's a Mexican food place where I grew up that wherever the people who are run the restaurant are from in Mexico, they put peas in their burritos. And so like every burrito has peas in it too, which is weird.
I don't get it, man.
Yeah, and first time I ate there, I was like, "What? Why are there peas? Do not belong. Peas do not belong here. This is not." But it was like, I guess whatever region of Mexico they're from, that's like part of the tradition.
Well, I don't want to go there. Why are we putting peas in things? You know what I mean?
Let's leave it out.
Just everybody out there listening, if you get carbonara and there's peas in the carbonara, just know you're getting horseshit carbonara. Okay?
You're getting Cheesecake Factory carbonara. Have you heard the thing on Twitter that Cheesecake Factory is apparently not a approved first date spot? These ladies are talking about it.
People like to you know what I mean? I'll take you on a walk. Oh, I almost I almost said the B word right there.
Yeah.
I like a walk for a first date. Go get some coffee, go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's a nice little first date. But some people clutching their purses, they're like, "Oh man, you got to spend $300 on the first date." No, I don't.
Yeah. No, I don't. And no, I won't. Cheesecake Factory is a treat for me. I don't go to the Cheesecake Factory by myself. I like
I've never been to the Cheesecake Factory. It seems pretty white trash, but I would take somebody to the Cheesecake.
It's fine. Like, it's trying to be more than it is. You know what I mean?
You know, other food's microwaved. You know that?
I did not know that, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's wild, huh?
That's probably why there's so many calories. But
it probably is. There's a lot of preservatives in there.
Whenever I used to go on first dates, I liked a bookstore for a first date.
Bookstore's a great first date.
Because like there's stuff to talk about, you can share interests. There's usually like movies or records there, so you have like points of interest. And then there's usually a coffee shop or something. So if it's going well, you can go get coffee and like a muffin or something. Like there's a lot of things around to help the weight of having to like go on a date with a person who you've had very limited contact with. Yeah,
there was a thing that went around that was like ice cream's bad on a first date too, and it's like, what are we setting all these fucking? And I talked to somebody about it, and they were like, it feels like you're not committing to me or taking this seriously if you're taking me to ice cream on a first date. And it's like, do you want me to be taking this seriously on the first date? Isn't that kind of weird?
Right? Is it? That feels like too much. Like,
yeah,
frozen yogurt, like you said, frozen yogurt and a walk is good. Like. Movie, bad first date because
movie is a bad first date or anything that's like super loud.
Yeah, because then you can't talk, or you have to wait till the movie's over to talk, and then there's a implied second location because like to go talk, you have to go do something else now because the movie's over,
Yeah.
So then you got to go like find a coffee shop or go find someplace to have dinner or something. So I think movie, bad first date. Concert, generally not a great first date, unless it's like a concert in the park kind of situation where you can talk while the thing is happening.
Something where there's like, I think it's fine if it's like you go and there's like an acoustic set happening. I think that's pretty nice. But I'm not taking you to the punk rock show.
No, you couldn't take people to the Pendulums because we rocked the shit.
Oh no,
like too loud.
You won't be able to hear for 3 days.
Yeah.
You'll never meet this person. Yeah. Plus, she'll go home with the singer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's no danger. There's an inherent danger. So, but I don't know. I was always just like, whatever you want to do, is fine. But like,
what's funny is
if we're going somewhere to eat, like, even if I took you to McDonald's, isn't it like, that's the way I feel about Christmas presents. I know a lot of people who used to get up in arms about like, I can't believe this person only spent this much on me. I'm like, this person bought you a gift. The idea that they bought you something is the point, not how much money they spent on it, like.
Yeah, genuinely the thought that counts sometimes.
Right.
There's putting a minimum price on a good deed or on a date or something like that. I think really think about that concept if you believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just think about what you're saying in this situation. But yeah, I like. But I'll be honest. Like, if you're in a town or a city that is large-ish, right? You probably could find a better first date place for a comparable amount of money than the Cheesecake Factory, right? So like, there's a couple of like cool places where you can get a nice charcuterie in town, in Bakersfield. I would choose that over the Cheesecake Factory, or somewhere with somewhere that's not like a chain, like something that's a little better food, or like something that's got a little bit more flavor in terms of like cultural flavor to it,
Right.
But
what if you just really like Cheesecake Factory?
And you're just a nice person and you have fun,
Like you could have bad taste and be a good person, Like there's a lot of Chili's and Applebee's and none of their food is any good, and people go on dates to those places all the time. You could have shitball taste in food and still be a good date.
Yeah, I feel like Chili's or Applebee's might be a bit of a red flag, but still, hey, roll the dice. Let's see how it goes. You know what I mean?
What if somebody
just stay home with your cat?
Yeah, somebody really likes wonton tacos, dude. What are you gonna do? That should be the indicator.
It might be a problem.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go on a date with a dude who thinks wonton tacos are high level fare.
They know his name.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Jerry.
Yeah, Mark, you're here all the time. We have your table in the back. They set him up in Goodfellas where they make another table for him.
There's one candle.
Yeah.
I was gonna play the guy as being like, shut the fuck up, but it's funnier if the guy's like, he's like, yeah, they know. He's like slides a $1 bill into the guy's front pocket and shit.
Yeah, that's Armando. He'll take care of us. Everybody else will have to wait for queso dip. We're gonna get our queso dip.
Exactly. He knows exactly. I'm gonna get they give me extra large towers of onion rings.
Yeah. Look. Whenever the Southwest egg rolls come out, mine are crisp. Okay. Because they know if you treat Jerry right, Jerry treats you right. You keep that in mind.
They give me extra cherry syrup in my Virgin Shirley Temple.
Is it? So it's better to be known at like your hole in the wall spot, right, than like a chain restaurant. I feel like being known at a chain restaurant is a problem.
I don't like being known at any restaurant. It's a weird thing. Like this is my fault. Like sure. I don't hate the place but as soon as I go somewhere and they're like, oh, you want the so-and-so? I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to stop coming to this place. I guess I just don't like being predictable or something. I feel like a loser.
Yeah. You hate for people to know you, which you might want to unpack that a little bit,
I might want to change occupations I'm doing a pretty good job because I am a media personality with not a lot of Instagram followers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't like when they're like remember when we used to go to Starbucks and I would get the protein box every day?
Right.
There's a girl there that she followed me on Instagram at one point, and I understand this is a humble brag. she messaged me, she DM'd me and said, "Hey, it's the protein box guy," and I was like, "Fuck, is that what I am?"
Right. You want to be known
I'm the
as
protein box
yeah.
guy.
Well, also, what used to happen quite a bit is if I went to Starbucks without you, they'd be like, "Where's your friend?" And like it's the two of us. We're a team. It's
Oh yeah,
Martin and Lewis.
that's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Andrew and Dusty. It doesn't roll off the tongue like Martin and Lewis. By the way, I looked up the Jerry Lewis fucking up on TV.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks because he said a terrible thing, but fucking 60 years of like being one of the funniest people people in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
doesn't matter.
I don't know how to reconcile that.
I don't know flames, where, man.
I don't know. I'm still gonna watch Mama Yo Quiero from fucking Private Eyes that nobody else but me has seen ever.
Because there used to be there still is. There was a like corner like burger place, little hole in the wall grill place, right by where I used to live, and so I would eat there a lot.
We went there a couple times.
Yeah, the Frosty King. Hell yeah, Frosty King. And I would always order the same thing. And it got to the point where they'd be like, "Dusty," and I'd be like, "Yeah," and they'd be like, "Okay," and then they would just make my order, and it was for me, it was awesome because then I didn't have to try to tell them or whatever. They'd just be like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, yes, all right, these people know me and they like me, or they don't like me, but they know my habits, which might be problematic. I should evaluate how often I eat at Frosty King if that's the case.
But, yeah, that's a thing where it's like, man, am I coming here too much? Am I like, you never want like your life to be, I guess I'm feeling like my life is defined by like, I never want to be the guy that just sits at the same restaurant all the time. And
right. You don't want to
you know what I mean?
Or guy that's always, bar guy, I feel like is worse. If you're local legend bar guy, that's a problem.
Yeah, for sure. There's a guy at Poor Richards in Springville. His name's Bill. He's very old, so I'm not shitting on Bill. But Bill goes to Poor Richards in Springville all the time, and they have like his Bill's table, and like one of the rooms, there's always like they have it on the rodeo channel because he likes watching rodeos and shit. And he got in a really bad car accident like 2 months ago, and like almost he's alive. He's alive, but he broke his sternum and shit. This guy's like 90 years old, and they posted that he's back, and they're like, "Come say hi to Bill." Like they're almost like marketing,
right?
Like trying to make money off of Bill. Bill's not getting a cut of this. You're not paying his medical bills.
It's poor Bill and Richards at this point.
I haven't seen a GoFundMe go up for Bill. I'm sure fixing your sternum's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I hope Bill.
Or unless I don't think sternum's something you can fix. I think you just you have a seam.
Yeah, it's just
you have a seam now.
It just sucks till it gets better. That's okay. I had a thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Andrew. A main thing. I'm leaving on a railway car.
I was gonna say you slowly get quieter.
Yeah, I'm joining I'm joining the League of Boxcars. So fought his way up from the boxcars, huh? Nope, he's still there. So Jacob Noel, Bradley Noel of Sublime's son, recently played a benefit concert with the two other original members of Sublime. It was the first time that they have ever played together. First time to my knowledge that Jacob Noel has ever played anywhere. Maybe he has, but I don't know. I watched the videos. Pretty good. He sounds obviously a lot like his dad. I don't think his voice is as good, either because he hasn't trained it enough, or there's just something inherent about the voice that Brad Noel had, you know. But I was going to ask you, have you seen it?
I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
Here. Do you hear it?
Yeah.
All right. I have now heard
You've heard
Bradley
enough?
Knowles' son
Yeah,
singing for Sublime. He's very good.
he's pretty good. There's something missing in his voice that Brad had, but that's not his fault. Like but it sounds very similar.
It's a cover band.
Yeah,
Like if your singer dies,
yeah,
and you continue playing, you're a cover band. You're not that band anymore.
right. Do you feel that way if, say, like they replace a guitarist?
Not as much.
Yeah, it's
Unless
something about it, right?
Yeah, because you can make a Fender sound like a Fender sound like a Fender. It doesn't always sound like the same guitar player, but you can
Right.
do that, right? Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers without John Frusciante was the Red Hot Chili Peppers, even though John Frusciante is my favorite part of that band, right? Unless Eddie Van Halen died. I mean, he did die.
Right.
If Van Halen goes out right now calling himself Van Halen, like that's tough.
Yeah.
You're not like the defining member of the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's like
there's a few. There's like Angus Young is AC/DC. If there's no Angus Young, there's no AC/DC, right?
yeah, for the most part. But it's like I feel like if Malcolm's a singer, right?
No, Brian Johnson's the singer.
Brian Johnson, that's his
Yeah.
name. If Brian Johnson died, AC/DC sounds more different than if Angus Young died.
Yeah.
A lot of people can play what Angus Young plays.
Right. Or like, I don't know, Jimmy Page died. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
John Bonham died and they never reformed Led Zeppelin because they never figured they could get it back.
Maybe the only drummer ever that's the case, unless Travis Barker died. But like that's what I'm saying. Like if a defining member of your band dies, you're not that band anymore. Sublime with Rome is not Sublime. They are a Sublime cover band that happened to include a couple of the members of Sublime.
Right.
I am like surprised, and I think you went and saw Blink-182 with Alkaline Trio guy, right?
Yeah, with Matt Skiba. Well, because it's the only available option, you know.
That's not Blink-182 though, in my opinion.
Right. But it was like, well,
If
I
Dean
guess
Butterworth dies, that's still
yeah,
Good Charlotte.
right. Well, and like, so I think that's true, and I don't have any hate. Like in the same way that we talked about Matt Skiba, I don't have any hate for Rome that he joined this band that wanted to have him in it. Like,
No,
he's trying to make it, and that's he's either gonna wallow in obscurity or he's got to sing another dude's songs instead and be famous and tour. Of course, it's weird that they release new music as Sublime with Rome, because like I don't want to go to Sublime with Rome and hear any Sublime with Rome songs. And I know we talked to your brother earlier, and he feels different, and that's Jacob's opinion. And of course it's valid, but like for me, it feels weird if I went and saw them and they're like, okay, here's one off the new album. And I'm like, what? No.
Yeah. If Journey made songs with Arnel Pineda and started singing, like, I would like to be in an arena where Arnel Pineda is singing Faithfully or Open Arms, right? He's a singer. He's a Filipino guy from Journey. That's not Journey. That's a fucking cover band.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going out of my way and telling people that I'm going to go see Journey if Steve Perry isn't singing for Journey. Right. You're not seeing Journey, period. Yeah, imagine if Billy Joe Armstrong left Green Day and Trey Cool and Mike Dirnt traveled and was like, we've got fucking Billy Martin from Good Charlotte is our singer now. It's like, that's not Green Day.
Right. We got the dude from Newfound Glory. And it's like, well, great. I guess do whatever you want. But
that's weird. But
it's not the same. And it's like the Black Sabbath when Ozzy left. They got Dio, but they called themselves Heaven and Hell instead.
Yeah.
Because like that's a different band. Ozzy's gone. You can't replace Ozzy.
Yeah, you can't have Black Sabbath without Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if we're going to keep doing different I'm gonna be like Norm Macdonald do 15 minutes of examples, but it's how it goes. Like, that's a cover band. That's not the band. Let's stop pretending that's the band. You're not going to see the band. You didn't get to see the band. Like, if somebody just saw, if Matt Skiba Blink-182 was your only Blink-182 show, I'm sorry, Dusty, you've never seen Blink-182 live. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I'm also sick of Rockstar Sons.
You're done.
I'm done. I don't care. It's cool for like a 3-minute clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I understand the Taylor Hawkins thing. Taylor Hawkins died. Like, that's a very touching thing. And is it Wolfgang Van Halen? Right?
Yeah.
It was in the band a little bit, which was cool and all that shit. But like, it doesn't mean anything more to me that that's his son.
Right.
That's just not Bradley Nowell singing a Sublime song.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe, well, I'll say this.
It's close.
It doesn't mean anything more to me beyond one viral video.
Right.
That's because I won't completely deny any meaning to it. You know, like that's cynical and stupid. But like,
or like George Harrison's son being on stage playing while my guitar gently weeps, you know, with the All-Star band. Like, that's cool. That's a good clip, you know. But,
at the concert for Bangladesh and shit, you know. So like, that's fine. But like, I've heard people be like, "Why didn't the Beatles' sons get a group going?" And I'm like, because they would suck ass. Like,
they probably wouldn't. They're not just inherently great, you know.
Well, yeah, and it's like, and they're all like, Danny Harrison is a cool guy. Like, from everything I've heard, he's like a cool dude. Yeah. He loves skateboarding. He's like, everybody likes being around him and stuff. Sean Lennon and Julian Lennon have both made at their own times a pretty decent music. I know Paul McCartney's kid. I think Paul McCartney's brother is a musician or something like that. I'm sure Ringo's kids are doing whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ringo's kid is a drummer as well. Yeah. And it's like
Zach Starkey.
I'm sure they're all, but it's not like they're not going to recreate the magic of their fathers. Magic doesn't exist,
and
asshole.
It's a thing you wish were real, right? Because it sounds so cool. Like, oh shit, what if they got together and they did it, you know? And it's like, well, but that's impossible. Like, it's an impossibility, and the reason they didn't do it is because they all knew it was impossible. Could you imagine trying to live up to the expectation of being the sons of the Beatles? Like, and then your entire identity is tied into, which is probably already a problem, like, is tied into being the sons of these guys. So that's why George Harrison's son probably loves skateboarding, because it's something completely different from what his dad did.
He's a decent musician. He sounds a lot like his dad when he sings, but like, when people it's like, it's totally cool to see those things happen and all that, but like, when people are like, oh my god, he sounds just like him, it's like, okay, he's not fucking George Harrison. Right. He's not Bradley Nowell. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I sound more angry than I am. Right. That video was cool. He sounded good. He played Same in the End, which is my favorite Sublime song. But I am surprised at how viral this is going and how much everybody's losing their minds about it. I wonder if Rome's nervous.
Well, they've talked about, I guess there was a little bit of talk about like, oh, we might take this on the road, because Bud, the drummer for Sublime, doesn't play with Sublime with Rome. So the only guy that's in Sublime with Rome that was actually in Sublime is Eric, the bass player.
So that should be that band, that give that band another name. They just happen to like,
right.
They happen to have the rights to play the songs. Like, that's how most of it works now. And it's like, that's, if it's only one member of the band, like, what are we doing now? You know, eventually, and I'm sure this has happened already, where none of the original band members are going to be alive anymore.
Right.
But these people have the rights, and they're in some sort of lineage. Like, they're lineally in the band. Like, this guy was the bass player when the singer died and all this shit. And like, they're gonna go around calling themselves Foghat. Right. And like, that's not Foghat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which sucks for like Blind Melon. It sucks for Blind Melon. Like, you lose Shannon Hoon, one of the most distinct voices ever. You've never heard anybody else who sounds like that guy. And you got to, those guys had every right to continue calling themselves Blind Melon.
Yeah.
Like, because there was like 3 out of the 4 original band members, but that's not Blind Melon anymore if you don't have Shannon Hoon.
Well, and you're almost never lucky to be like Pearl Jam, where like Pearl Jam originally was Mother Love Bone with a singer named Andrew Wood, and Andrew Wood died. And then all the guys from Mother Love Bone formed Pearl Jam with Eddie Vedder, and then became world famous rock stars. Like, it's so hard So I don't judge him. If Blind Melon wanted to keep touring, it's so hard to break through and become
Yeah, no, I
like
don't blame
a
them, and
mainstream.
I don't blame it. I don't really blame any of these people.
No, like become a mainstream band, and then to have to like give it up, and you're like, but I made it as a guitar player in this band, and now I have to go form a different band and try to do it all like again. I don't,
I'm saying all this while if a millionaire called me and told me, hey, I just bought all of Skid Row's songs. Sebastian doesn't want to do it. I'll be. Do you want to be the singer for Skid Row? I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll be the singer for Skid Row, and I'll do the shit out of it, right? So like,
Youth Gone Wild, I'll sing that shit every night.
Yeah, and I'll tell everybody that this is the real Skid Row. I'll have a public feud with Sebastian Bach over this.
So I
get it.
I did a little list here of famous musician kids, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So of course Sean and Julian Lennon, which you say at various points made decent music. I've never listened to any of it, but it never like broke through to the mainstream, I don't think.
Yeah.
There
were, I think one of them had a song that like did okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Jacob Dylan, Bob Dylan's son, was the singer for the Wallflowers, and Wallflowers had some hits. Wallflowers, the album Bringing Down the Horse, pretty good, man. One Headlight.
I remember their music being good, but I don't remember much of it. I just remember that Jacob Dylan is like a legitimate musician.
They have a song called Josephine that's like, it's beautiful. I love that song. But he was okay in like a band, but he had to be in the Wallflowers. It wasn't Jacob Dylan in the Wallflowers. Like
Yeah.
Then Zach Starkey is the son of Ringo Starr, and he drummed for like a ton of bands. He played for The Who for a long time. He was in Oasis.
I was gonna say like he's jumped in on a bunch of different bands. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really good. He's a good drummer. Jason Bonham, of course, John Bonham's son, has played drums in a bunch of bands and does a Led Zeppelin like experience sort of thing where it's him and some still like session musicians, and they tour the Led Zeppelin songs, which is dope, and I would go see that. But that's his right as John Bonham's son to do that, But he's
that's totally fine.
He's in a cover band. He's in a Led Zeppelin cover band, essentially,
and that's totally fine. I've heard he's fucking really good, and like, just don't say, "Hey, we're Led Zeppelin."
Yeah,
we're literally Led Zeppelin.
Hank Williams Jr., of course, Hank Jr. out here doing
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. The South will rise again. You know what I mean?
Shooter Jennings. There's some of it like Rosanna Cash. In country, there's a lot of continuing in the family legacy, but maybe the most famous one, and I didn't even think of it, it's got to be Miley Cyrus, like for pop, because
she's more famous than her dad.
I guess Norah Jones's dad is like a famous jazz musician, sitar player, which I didn't know, but like Miley Cyrus is like a world famous, has #1 hits on hits. Famous
Norah
singer.
Jones's dad is Ravi Shankar, the most famous sitar player of all time, like world famous.
Okay.
Knew the Beatles. Like the reason that the Norwegian wood, the reason that Norwegian wood had a sitar on it was Ravi Shankar.
Okay, so that's
he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, that's ignorance on my end of it. But like it's still Miley.
I still think it's Miley.
Yeah.
Like, I think worldwide, Ravi Shankar might be more famous than Billy Ray Cyrus, but Miley is so much more famous than Norah Jones that I think that beats it.
And then I was thinking, because I listened to Sublime today, probably more today than I have in the last roughly 15 or so years.
It got you back into the groove. Huh?
I listened to 40 Ounces to Freedom so much through like middle school and high school, and the self-titled album like wore him out. Even Robin the Hood, which is a terrible album. No one should spend their money on Robin the Hood. But I loved Sublime. And Sublime is, in 2023, a very different band to try to wrangle with than in 2000 or before. Like Rastafarian accents, a lot of Jamaican parlance being said by old Brad.
That's reggae, man. I don't think you'll find a lot of Jamaican guys that are pissed about that.
No, like you can only judge it from the time that it existed. Like no one was talking about cultural appropriation, or maybe people were, but it wasn't as big a thing for like in Sublime's time, I don't think, as it would be now.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's harmless, to be honest. Their form of it, at least, is harmless.
It sounds ridiculous, but I don't think he was trying to hurt anybody. You know, me gusta reggae, me gusta punk rock. That's it's true. He me gusta reggae and he me gusta punk rock.
And I sound like the biggest apologist, like out of touch guy in the world, but like it is kind of just an homage. Like he loves those cultures that he's talking about. You know what I mean? Like he speaks Spanish. He's from Long Beach. Yeah. If you're from Long Beach, even if you're white, you're Mexican.
Well,
you know what I
mean? He went to the Caribbean with his dad when he was young, and that's what like sparked his love of reggae music. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying now, I'm like, oh man, what a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
To just
reggae in general gets kind of weird.
Their first EP is called "Ja Don't Pay the Bills," which is like, come on, man. But I was trying to think, not in a negative way, I guess, but like, has there ever been a band that has done more with less? Because there are only 3 Sublime studio albums. Because Brad died before the self-titled album even came out. So subsequently, there have been so many compilation albums and like additional releases of bullshit that's like not even, I mean, it's the real band, but it's like snips of various things and whatever. Like, because they got famous and then they were like, oh, we don't have any more shit to put out because our singer died. The dude who sang and wrote all the songs died. So what do we do? And they just kept putting out releases. And I was just
like
trying to.
They kept putting out like finding things that they had recorded in the past. Like they're Tupacing. They've Tupac'd.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe Tupac is but Tupac was famous by the time he did, like before he died. So
yeah, Tupac was more famous when he died than Bradley Nowell was when Sublime died. I'm not familiar, but Tupac was more, in my opinion, Tupac was more famous when he died than Sublime ever got, even after Bradley Nowell. So
yeah. I had it up, I thought, and then it disappeared. So they have 3 studio albums, 1 live album, 5 compilation albums, one of which contains never before released material, and a box set of music. So 5 compilation albums is like, there's like 3 greatest hits albums that all have more or less the same songs on them.
Yeah, the same songs.
A rarities album, which is just like early versions of songs that would later be on other albums, and then not much else. And then the Bradley Nowell and Friends acoustic album, which some of the songs are literally under a minute, and it's just him kind of strumming a guitar and like fucking around. And like, and that CD used to cost $20. And I was obsessed with trying to buy it. Because I was like, what if there's a version of Wrong Way on here? What if that unlocks the key to understanding him, you know?
So when did they, oh man, so they weren't big at all so Brad never knew.
No. He died before it came out. That
his songs got huge and bugged the shit out of every non-pot smoker on the planet.
He never
every
saw
bro at every party.
He never saw the success of What I Got or Santeria or Doing Time or Wrong Way, which are all off of that. And April 26th, like half of the biggest songs that they ever had, they were never hits, you know. And 40 Ounces ended up selling a ton of records after, because everybody wanted more Sublime, so they went back to 40 Ounces to Freedom, which had come out first, and that ended up selling like a few million copies also, but it was all after he died. So that's what I mean too, like not in a bad way, but that's also why they kept going, you know, the other 2 dudes in the band, because like now they have a viable way to make money, but they don't have a band anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which sucks. Like
that really sucks. Yeah, I mean, I feel more bad for Brad.
Of course, yes. And
he never. First of all, he's dead, but he also never knew like how like big culturally, how sick of his music the whole country would get because of how often they heard his music.
Yeah.
Like how rich he would be right now.
That's, and so the band that I thought of to kind of comp it but it's not even exactly the same as Nirvana. So Nirvana has 3 studio albums. They have a rarities album. They have a posthumous acoustic release, a posthumous live release, and a box set that all came out after their singer died. And Sublime was only around 1 year longer than Nirvana. So Nirvana was around 8 years, and Sublime was around 9 before their singers died.
So Nirvana was a band as long as the Beatles were.
Yeah, and didn't have Dave
that's
until
a crazy concept.
1990. So like 3 years into their being a band is when they're like the actual lineup.
They had Dave for 5 years.
They had Dave for 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from about 1990 till Kurt's death. Yeah, so he played on 2 of the studio albums. But
let me guess. Can I see if I can guess them both?
Yeah.
Obviously, Nevermind. He played on Nevermind. The second one's a little tougher for me. But I think, is it In Utero?
In Utero is the...
So look at me,
the
dude.
3 studio albums are Bleach, Nevermind, and In Utero. And then
And he didn't play on Bleach.
No. And Incesticide, he might have played on some, but most of those were songs that were recorded like earlier in the life of the band.
Before he was in the band?
Yeah.
And that was after Kurt killed himself?
No, that was after Nevermind came out, and they were like, shit, Nirvana's the biggest band in the world. What do? We need to sell more records, but we don't have more stuff. And so they just cobbled together a bunch of the early recordings and put them out.
And Kurt was still alive at that point?
Kurt was still alive then, yeah.
Oh, shit. Do you think Kurt killed himself?
I do think Kurt killed himself.
So do I.
It stinks, but it's like, what is it, Occam's razor, right? Like the most
likely thing.
Is like, because everything else requires a lot of legwork that I don't think is true. Like, I've watched Kurt and Courtney, the documentary that where the guy says that Courtney Love paid him to kill Kurt Cobain, and I just like he was just a depressed, sick man who was a heroin addict and also depressed. So, like,
yeah, and because the big thing that everybody talks about is like one of the big things is the gun was so long he would have to pull the trigger with his toe, and he was wearing shoes, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let everybody know this. I've shot a gun before. I've worn shoes before. I can pull the trigger of a gun with shoes on.
Yeah.
With my toes. I've never done it. Okay. but I can do it.
But you could.
So, and then he had too much heroin in his system to do anything. He was a junkie.
Yeah.
There's tolerance.
Well, yeah, and there's we're talking about a lot of amateur detectives being like, he couldn't have shot up that much stuff and been alive. And like at one point, Kurt Cobain, he had like a $400 a day heroin habit. So,
I'll go outside right now. I bet within a radius of like 6 miles. I live in the best part of town. I bet within a radius of like 6 miles, I'll find somebody that can shoot up that amount of cocaine and do the alphabet backwards. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean heroin, not cocaine. Yeah. Heroin.
And he the reason he only had a $400 a day habit was the most that he could get out of the ATM at like any given day, because they set limits on it. But yeah, I think, and also heroin. Bradley Knoll died of a heroin overdose. So there's also that parallel between the two bands, But it's like of course, Nirvana is infinitely more famous than Sublime was. And that was, I put that to the test today by going to the mall that's across the street from where I work. And I went to the various stores that sell band t-shirts. And counted them up. So,
Nirvana shirts are huge now, though.
Yeah. So, I saw a Sublime shirt in the wild, so I counted it. Guy at the mall wearing a Sublime shirt.
Yeah, you got to count that. You got to count that.
So 7 Sublime shirts between a store called Cotton On, Spencer's Gifts, and Hot Topic.
Okay.
Nirvana.
And the guy walking around.
Yes. Nirvana, 17 shirt designs between those 3 stores. There's an entire row of Hot Topic shirts that are just different Nirvana layouts, and most of them are just the eyes crossed happy face. just different colors.
The crazy thing about like Nirvana shirts are now like, I bet Nirvana is a top. I don't know. This is a guess, but I bet they're a top 3 brand right now with Zoomers. Like if you count the logo as a brand.
Yeah.
Um,
well, and like whatever the
Nirvana
new,
and Metallica.
Yeah, whatever the new one is, Gen Z or whatever. Because there's a lot of like young kids that I see walking around with Nirvana shirts on. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
the
okay.
TikTok kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen Z, the Zoomers. They love. They're big into Nirvana shirts, and I'm not gonna name 3 songs of them, but
Right.
I bet a lot of them couldn't name 3 songs, which is fine. If you wear a shirt, if you can't name a single song,
right,
it's totally okay.
You like the shirt,
but
that's a thing you can do. That shows personal growth by me, because that would otherwise previously infuriate me. Because I don't think that it's smart to wear brands that you don't recognize the meaning behind. I think there might be something to discuss there, but like, whatever, man. Like, you like the shirt, wear the shirt. Who cares?
Who cares, man? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid in high school, I had a really cool Operation Ivy shirt that I'd wear all the time.
Ooh,
I didn't
nice.
know I didn't know any Operation Ivy songs at the time.
Yeah.
I knew that they knew Green Day, and I loved Green Day, and they were seen as pretty cool. You know what I mean? So I'm not just saying that to get myself out of jail.
Was it the guy jumping out of the thing? Like the guy with the hat jumping out?
The guy with the hat, yeah. I actually found, I'll send it to you. I found, I have a story as well. I found a picture of myself playing, wearing that shirt.
Oh, nice.
A couple of them.
We're seeing, just for your own interest, 2 members of Operation Ivy next year. Because
Tim Armstrong,
right? And Matt Freeman of Rancid were both in Operation Ivy.
Hell yeah, dude!
Yeah, so good times.
That's pretty wild. So
I don't know that Sublime to Nirvana is an exact 1-to-1, but it's interesting that like charismatic singer who dies young. Then there's a bunch of outcry for more material. Nirvana's posthumous output much better than Sublime's, because it turns out Sublime didn't really seem to take a whole lot of their recordings very seriously. So a lot of it's not very good. But and Nirvana, of course, they have an album that sold 10 million copies. So
yeah, it's a tough thing. I like my version of that is Blind Melon. Because I love their first 2 albums. Yeah. They're very, very good and underrated, because they're kind of seen as a one-hit wonder with no rain. But then Shannon Hoon dies snorting a comically large pile of cocaine, and
he died of cocaine, making music.
No, it's cocaine.
Oh,
Shannon Hoon.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw a curveball.
Yeah, the trend.
He's one of the a lot of people who died right out of rehab.
Okay.
He got out of rehab. He he went straight back into touring or whatever, and then he relapsed. And when he relapsed, assuming he didn't have the tolerance, or maybe he just fucking snorted way more than he normally did. But the assumption is, because a lot of times you get out of rehab, when you go back, you go back gangbusters, and when you go back gangbusters, you don't have the tolerance you did before, and you fucking die.
Yeah.
I think that, well, no, that didn't exactly happen to Winehouse. Winehouse drank herself to death, but she was like in bad shape.
Or like Belushi, any of those guys.
Yeah, I don't know if he went to rehab or what was up with him, but yeah, there's a lot of guys who like go to rehab, leave rehab, and then die immediately. So that's like one of the most dangerous times for an addict. An addict is right when they get out of rehab.
Well, that's what happened to Kurt Cobain. He was in like a inpatient facility, and then he left. And then it was like, because it's the early 90s, they're like, where's Kurt? And everybody's like, well, we don't know. Could be anywhere. And then when they found him is after he died. So
yeah, that's the interesting thing, is because we're kind of treating Kurt as if he died of heroin and not the gunshot to his mouth. But you know, if he wasn't a junkie, he probably wouldn't have killed himself. But he did have massive stomach issues, which means I'm tougher. I'm tougher than Kurt Cobain.
You're turfer than.
I'm turfer.
Well, I was gonna.
I apparently I'm not good at saying that word, but I am tougher.
I was gonna bring it up, which is I wonder if he had like undiagnosed Crohn's disease, or maybe similar to the things that you have, because from his personal accounting of it, it sounds like it was just miserable all the time, and they didn't know what was wrong with him.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what his symptoms were specifically in terms of like, if you ever wrote down like, you know, when I eat it feels like this, when I fucking blah blah blah, every once in a while it hurts real bad. Like to see if I could, because I'm almost a gastroenterologist at this point, Dusty. Like people sit me down and be like, hey, I feel like this, and I'm like, have you gotten your gut biome checked? Like all this shit. But I'm very curious. But yeah, I mean, it's not a fun existence when your stomach is really bad.
And of course, the heroin couldn't have helped. I mean,
no. So stuff like heroin itself, opiates slow down your gastrointestinal transit. So, a lot of times, a lot of the discomfort that you feel in your stomach, including pain, nausea, any of that stuff, comes from things not moving fast enough through your stomach, things sitting there, things festering. You know what I mean? And if you've heard about anybody who is like, one thing that opiates does is it makes you incredibly constipated.
Yeah.
So whatever issue he had was almost for sure exacerbated by his opiate use. And that's the problem with like, same thing with weed. A lot of people use weed when they have nausea or stomach aches or something like that, and they tell their doctor that they need it and it helps them and all those things. But weed probably makes your stomach worse because it slows down gastrointestinal transit, just like opiates do.
Yeah.
And what you want, if you have a stomach problem, for the most part, not all of them, almost all of them, you want to speed that stuff up. You want it out of you.
You want a clear highway.
Yeah. You want if something makes it go faster, it's gonna be great.
You want a high-speed rail through there if you can help it. So, well, and I remember reading that he said he took the heroin because it helped make his stomach pain manageable, which I imagine is I believe the opiate blocker, right? But then he comes out of being high and his stomach hurts worse than ever because part of the side effect of the actual heroin is making his stomach worse, which only snowballs the problem.
I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat.
Right.
So like it's the same exact thing. Like I take heroin because my stomach hurts, and my stomach hurts because I take so much heroin. Yeah. So he would have had to get clean and then probably wait for medical science to catch up to whatever he had, because I'm sure he got looked at by a lot of doctors and stuff.
Which is a bummer, because it's like if it was Crohn's or something that wasn't really like a very well-known or popular diagnosis back then, they might have been able to do something for him.
It's probably diet. Most of it is like a lot of my stuff could be fixed by diet.
Well, he was also like weirdly, for being like a poet and the supposed voice of a generation and like all of these sensitive things that were put on him, he was kind of a shitball guy. Like he had a terrible diet and he drank a bunch and he did heroin, and so I'm sure none of that helped.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it is the same thing as the Andre 3000 thing, and actually even worse. You don't want Kurt to be your role model, but even before he killed himself, like Kurt was not a happy person. Right. Kurt was not a functioning person. He just happened to write really good songs, and he spoke for a lot of broken people. But because he is able to verbalize the issue,
right,
doesn't mean that he's the guy that you look to solve the issue, right?
As Hannibal Buress once so eloquently put it, that's just a dude.
It's just a dude.
Yeah, he's just a dude, and there's no magic, unfortunately, behind him. So you said you had another story?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't even know where to make this funny, but so my mom, the dead one, she
not as opposed to the other one.
Yeah, the dead one. She took like 2,000 pictures when we were younger. Like she and I don't know if that's a lot of pictures for mom. I'm not sure. I've only had one of them.
Right.
But she she had a camera and she would take pictures. She wasn't like incessant, she didn't take pictures everywhere, but she took pictures. And but my mom, being my mom, because this is something that I would do, never got any of them developed.
Okay. That's
Um,
so those are the
so,
unreleased albums. That's the
yeah. So it after she died, about like 8 years later, we went out and got all of them developed. And being us, being our mother's child, we never went through them.
Yeah.
We always got them developed. So when I went to Idaho, I spent hours going through my childhood.
That's kind of awesome, man. That's all you could.
Yeah, it was wild, right? Like so many things like just existed in my memories that I'm not used to seeing. Like I never like planned on seeing. So like we had a pet pig when I was younger, named Petunia.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I didn't tell my sister this. My sister Amy's going to be so excited about this. I found pictures of Petunia, like when we got her. And there's a bunch of old pictures of me like playing baseball in All-Stars, and like friends of mine that were on my team, like me and them sitting together, and like friends I still talk to now. And a bunch of pictures, obviously, of me and my mom that I never had. And like me, there was a whole roll of film of my dad and I playing golf together.
Oh, dude, seriously.
When I was like,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was like, there were a couple pictures that really like, I almost teared up, like pictures of hugging my mom and like her looking happy. And then the ones with me and my dad playing golf were really emotional. And like, I was trying to show my family and stuff, but I found one picture. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook story in the last day. Did you see it? Or is this going to be the first time you see this picture?
I think I saw one, but this might be the first time
Oh shit.
I saw you today
by now.
talk about mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that meant that dad was kissing Santa Claus.
Yeah,
I thought mom was kissing Santa Claus.
Isolate the audio of you saying Santa is daddy for use in this podcast.
I thought about that multiple times. Yeah. I thought about that
because you repeated it quite a few times. Santa is daddy. So.
Yeah, and I wanted the thing I wanted to repeat was that the kid is stupid. That it's just some dumbass kid that doesn't understand that the guy in the fucking Santa costume is his dad. Yeah. But I only had a minute and I had to wrap it up. So let me see. I'm trying to get it. Like I just sent it to myself on Instagram so I can put it on the screen so anybody watching can see it. Oh yeah. Yeah, there it is. So Dusty, I've seen some of your awkward child photos.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen the picture of you leaning against the number with the hair swoop and the wearing the Carmen shirt, which is the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I think I have the holy grail.
Okay. You might have
of awkward teenage photos.
You might have my 7th grade picture beaten.
I might.
Okay.
This is me just graduate. Oh fuck. This is me. I'm looking at it right now. This is me just graduating from. Well, not graduating from. You don't really graduate from 6th grade. Just leaving 6th grade.
Right.
My sister's graduating 8th grade. I'm at her graduation. This is what I wore to my sister's graduation.
Okay. What year is this?
This is June-ish. I think it's June of 2002.
Okay.
America's Awkward Teenage Years. Okay, we got to remember.
Right.
Everybody dressed like shit in 2002.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I looked so cool, Dusty. I want you to once I reveal this.
Yes.
I want you to describe what I'm wearing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
Because there are audio only listeners to this podcast. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
I just realized all my Instagram DMs are on the screen.
Oh,
I gotta get rid of
sorry,
that.
man.
No, it's fine.
We have to remember also, this is June 2002. We're still healing as a nation from the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001.
Yeah, this outfit might be my 9/11.
That's where we're still.
This is a PTSD outfit.
Yeah, we're still trying to come to grips with 9/11 as a country. You know, people are still turning to Seinfeld for solace at this time because there's familiarity. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew is wearing a white baseball hat backwards.
Yep. It's a I can't tell, and because I told somebody recently that it's flex fit, but I think I'm wrong. I think it is a fitted white California Bears
UCLA
a college.
Okay.
No, it's a Cal. It's Cal.
Oh, okay.
Cal Berkeley.
Yes.
Cal Bears.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He's got sunglasses of some description on. To be fair, he is directly in the sun. So
I need the sunglasses, yes, but they are kind of neo glasses, right?
Yeah. He's got on a yellow shirt that seems to be begging the question, how yellow can a shirt be? And the answer to that question is the most yellow. Like,
yeah, it's none, and it can be none more yellow than the shirt.
The sun is envious of the yellow that's on this shirt, and I can't tell if there's a shadow or if on the side there's some white.
The side is white.
Okay.
We got white side stripes on this one, so it's a polo shirt.
I didn't even see the collar down. You got the collar turned down.
Look. Well, the collar, it's supposed to be down, but like something's wrong with this collar. I don't know what's going on with the collar. So what likely happened
collarbone
was
issue.
this is a I'm like the kid from Stranger Things. I don't have a collarbone. Likely what happened is this is like a golf shirt that was like laying down and the collar just got fucked.
Yeah.
And it looks like pig ears. My collar looks like pig ears.
They're a bit askew, you know.
Yeah, so far Cal Bears hat backwards, way too low on my head. It's Fred Durst level, covering the eyebrows. Yeah. Neo glasses, none more yellow, polo shirt with a fucked up collar and a stripe down the side.
Some like patchwork pants. I can't are they leopard?
So these
pants.
These are board shorts, and I will scroll in.
Okay.
I will scroll in.
I couldn't tell if they were pants or not because you can't see the bottom of your legs. So
yeah.
Okay, so they're like imagine PacSun board shorts. They're yellow, so they do match, which is nice.
Yeah.
With black, possible with black looking flowers. I can't tell if that's
black looking flowers. Yeah.
So my man's ready to shaka bra. If a wave hits, he's not worried about it.
No.
And then the piece de resistance. 2002 early adopter, Andrew Idell, water bottle, metal water bottle with.
Listen,
go ahead.
That's for the record. That's a camcorder.
It's a camcorder.
That's a camcorder.
That looks like a water bottle, dude.
That does look like a water bottle. I never even thought about that, but that is a camcorder.
So
that is a
old
school camcorder
creeping.
Yeah.
Still,
somebody told me. I posted it on my Facebook story. Our friend Michael Michael Moreno told me that I look like I'm the staff member at Girls Gone Wild that's only job is to administer the roofies.
And so it doesn't get lost. Strap over the shoulder.
Yeah,
of course, because that camcorder probably costs $800. So you gotta keep,
and it probably weighed 50 pounds.
Gotta keep it close. That's probably what broke your collarbone, messed your shirt up.
It was the smallest camcorder in the world, but it was dense.
Yeah, it had the density of Jupiter or one of its moons.
Listen, the all three Haas's Revenge movies were on that camcorder. So that's a famous camcorder.
That thing's a relic. Someday that's going to go for big money.
Yeah. We came up with a new Haas's Revenge movie this weekend.
Oh,
too.
Nice.
So anyway, it's called Trojan Haas, which is hilarious.
It's a Haas back for more Haas of pain.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll try to dig up a couple for next week. I don't know that I ever took a picture in this outfit, but in 8th grade, I was trying to wildly change my style.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, I like girls. I'd like girls to like me. I need to do something here. Because all anybody knows about me is I like wrestling to an alarming concern, apparently. So in the summer, I begged my mom to let me buy a basketball jersey. And of course, being a wrestling fan, I wanted Dennis Rodman's basketball jersey because I also like the Bulls. I was watching basketball and I was getting into it, and I was like, Dennis Rodman's the bad boy of the Bulls, right? He's he's the cool one that scares people. I want the Rodman one. But of course, my mom had seen Dennis Rodman in a dress and was like, no way.
No son of mine.
Right. So she relented, and I got a Scottie Pippen jersey, Chicago Bulls jersey.
That's a good one.
Oh man, it was red with the black. Like it was awesome. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
And I had a plan. That was like my first day of school. I'm stunting. I have a new situation going on.
Yeah.
Shirt.
Oh man, new Dusty. You're dusting off a new Dusty.
Yeah. Also decided, because I had the swoopy hair at that point and I had hair at that point, I started putting gel in my hair and combing the shit back.
Oh man, I really hope you have a picture of this.
I have a picture of me with slicked back hair for sure. And
yeah.
First day of school, some kid was like, "Do you slick your hair back now?" And I was like, I'm doing it. Like, crushed me. Devastating.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah,
man.
what an L I took that day.
It hurts.
But like, you couldn't let me have nothing,
Oh man, well, some people thought I was cool in this horse shit.
Right.
You know what I
so
mean?
like they couldn't give it to me. Devastating. So,
I hope you have the fucking Pippin shirt with the slick back hair.
I don't think I have it with the Pippin, but I'm sure
I would pay money for that.
I have slick back hair. I had white undershirt, right? Because you couldn't just wear the basketball jersey because
Yeah.
Then basketball jersey over that, and then like some shorts, I'm sure, and the new.
You think a jorts? You think we're working with a jort situation?
A jort situation.
Yeah.
Then slick back hair with gel, hella gel.
Fuck! I wish I could, dude.
So much gel that
man.
like it might be the reason I don't have hair now. I might have ruined what hair I had by gelling it out.
You bumped your head one time, your hair shattered, and it never came back.
It was, and then I had the second day set up too. I had a red Bum Equipment shirt that I was like, hell yeah, dude, it's happening. And I didn't know that Bum Equipment since I could buy it at Target now was not cool anymore.
Dude, I heard Massimo was the same way. I heard Massimo was cool back because we talked about Massimo like 2 weeks ago. I heard it was cool for a while until it was when I got it. When I started buying Massimo, Massimo was a Target brand.
Yeah.
So Massimo, you could dress it up. These shorts were probably like both of these things in this outfit are probably Massimo.
Yeah.
The shirt and the shorts.
But yeah,
oh man,
I was trying a thing, and then I fell into band T-shirt. Learn to play drums, and then that's what helped me out, of just the wrestling.
Yeah. That's cooler than any of this stuff that I got going on. You know what I mean?
Right, but I did. You have to fuck up, man. You have to wear the POD shirt before you can wear the Clash shirt and get people talking with you.
Yeah. That is true. It made us the men that we are today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the same man, the same dapper, international media superstar sitting here today if this kid didn't walk. One thing about that hat I didn't mention. I found that hat.
Oh, dude, you have to take a picture. Do you have a yellow shirt anymore?
No. What I'm saying is the way that I obtained that hat.
Oh, I thought you meant you found that hat like recently. Like again.
No, that hat, actually, I went on a mission trip to Mexico, and that hat got stolen from me by one of the Mexican kids that we were saving.
Man.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he needed it more than you.
Yeah, I couldn't find my hat, and then I literally saw through the window of his house him trying on the hat
Yeah.
in the mirror. Like
That
it was
was
like a
his
movie.
new going to school stunting outfit.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That
He
guy's
was
the
like,
president
can I
of
have
Mexico now. The confidence.
can I have the yellow shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that whatever slim guy that's like the most one of the richest guys in the world in Mexico.
Yeah.
So yeah, that hat I found literally on the ground at the tennis courts at Wenatchee High School.
Nice.
When I was like walking to baseball practice one day or something, and I thought I'd hit the jackpot because I couldn't afford like a fitted college hat. That's all I wanted one.
I was
like,
I had a friend. The guy that I credit with initially getting me into like the music that I like before he went off into a bunch of music that I didn't like. We became friends in ninth grade because we both liked wrestling, and so I used to go to his house all the time to watch pay-per-views, and like we hung out constantly for like the first 2 years of high school, and we would listen to music at his house all the time. But his dad, bless his heart, I guess is a jerk. I don't know, but like at the time would just buy him and his sisters seemingly whatever they wanted. Like he had a really good job, and this is in the good time economy, in the late 90s, and he had like he had the fitted red Yankees hat, like Fred Durst, and like we would go to the mall and he would just drop money on clothes and shit that I could never afford to to buy this shit. And then he was the hand-me-down guy. Like he doesn't like POD anymore, so he gives me his POD shirt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I ended up with some stuff at the time that I thought was cool because he didn't want it anymore. But I remember I went over there one Friday, and it was like every 2 weeks on Friday night, his dad would drive them into Visalia to take him to the CD store and to take him around to like dinner and do it. Like, and I was like, this dude's dropping major money. And I remember my friend wanted so badly the Smashing Pumpkins box set, I guess. And it was going to be like over $100. And he had like, this was what he had his heart set on. And then his dad got home. His dad was a mail carrier. So his dad's like a big overweight guy that carried mail all day long in the sweltering heat and came home and was just like, I don't got it tonight. I don't want to drive an hour to then, sit in the car while you CD shop or whatever. And my friend threw a fit. We're like 15 and he's freaking out. And he's like, oh, and I was like, you should probably chill out, man. Like I could never pull this shit with Kathy. That would never fly. And he did. His dad fucking caved. And we went to Visalia.
And went and got it for... my God.
And we went, and the whole time I was like, oh, God. I feel bad for you.
I can't believe...
Like, secondhand. Like, come on, man. You have a backbone. One time. You gotta... and his dad might be a terrible person. I don't know. But it was like...
Yeah, his dad was steady, like, beating him up all the time.
But...
He was buying his silence.
But at the time, it was like my friend was shitty, man. He had a PlayStation, he had new games, he had all the shit all the time.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to say mail carrier for what his dad did after saying like he got everything he wanted.
They lived in a house that makes it so much worse. I think it was like his grandma's house. So
hell yeah,
that helps. Like that makes sense to me that they could figure that out.
My fucking dad's not going to have my house paid off.
Right. My dad wasn't even around to be in a house. So
grandma bought that house for 16 grand and a duck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but he also I went with him the first baseball game I ever went to. We went and saw the Giants and the A's in Oakland. And it was like, they paid for all of it, or his dad paid for all of it. And I got to go. And I'm like, it was probably not that astonishingly amount of wealth, but it was for me. Like, you just every 2 weeks you just go to the CD store and your dad gives you $100 to spend on CDs. Get the fuck out of my face, dude. With,
Yeah, that's the thing. I shit on this outfit, but I got like one good outfit a year, and this wasn't it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I piecemealed this shit together from the bargain bin and thought that I figured it out. I'm a fashion guru. I'm probably writing a blog at that point on how to buy stuff on a budget.
I'm sure my mom bankrupted us buying me that Scottie Pippen jersey. You know,
yeah. Or she got it at the swap meet and told you it was authentic.
Yeah, we I ate bologna the rest of the year and didn't realize that was the reason.
It was the Chicago Pulls,
yeah.
Pulls.
That's why it didn't work. That's why that's why I couldn't put it together. All right. Yeah.
So to wrap this up real quick, okay? We usually we want to do the daily trivia. We're not going to do all of them. That's too much. We're already 2 hours and 5 minutes into this shebang bang. You know what I mean? You want to knock out the dozen real quick and see how this goes?
I'm in for it. Let's see.
Okay, so we'll knock this out. Just so everybody knows, the Dozen Daily Trivia is a trivia run by Barstool Sports. It is 9 questions. There are 9 categories. And you can go to dailydozentrivia.com. It's really fun. There's the top row is always sports, and then the rest of them is kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different things. So let's start with the celebrity mashup. Because we got to kind of go through that one pretty quickly because it is not an audio situation. Celebrity mashup, just so everybody knows, it's 2 celebrity faces mashed together to make an abomination that you can kind of sometimes figure out what 2 celebrities. Image. Okay, that in the middle is Martin Short. On the outside, I believe that to be Jason Bateman, but I'm not sure.
I've never seen it be 2 dudes.
It is 2 dudes though. That's definitely Martin Short in the middle,
okay. Right? Yeah, I think so. I've always seen it as a lady and a guy. So it's
I've seen them do it before.
Okay.
Are you cool with Bateman on the outside?
I will trust you. Yeah, I think Bateman is a good guess.
I feel like that's Bateman. Listen, I got this one pretty quick.
Bateman.
And I was right.
Okay.
Nailed that shit. Ding ding.
I need you for those because I can always get one guy and I always miss the other guy or the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, the middle, surprisingly, where it actually shows their face is the one that I get the wrong the most. Yeah. The hair and the ears, I get right the most. So what do you want to go next?
Let's just go top to left to right, from top to bottom.
You going to go NFL? Yeah. What current day NFC West team signed Brian Bosworth to an at the time largest rookie contract in NFL history in 1987? The Boz.
Okay, current day NFC West. So that's the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks.
Seahawks? Yes. Oh. And look at you. Yeah. Nailed it. NBA. Nate Robinson scored 27 points to lead this injury-hampered team to a Game-1 win over LeBron James and the Heat in the 2013 East semifinals before losing the next 4 games. I would guess the Knicks, just because I know Nate Robinson as being on the Knicks, and the Knicks are in the East, I believe.
Yes, they're in the East. That's fine with me. I have no...
But he's been on other teams, so we could be wrong, but I'm guessing the Knicks. New York Knickerbockers, we were wrong.
Okay. If we have...
What other team was he on?
Was he on the Pacers ever?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's a little guy, right? He's a little guy.
Yes, I think Nate Robinson is a smaller guy.
Yeah. This is NHL. We're probably not going to get to this Hall of Fame player played from 1986 to 2006, including 14 seasons across 3 stints with the Kings, won a Stanley Cup with Detroit in 2002, and totaled over 1,100 points. Anything?
I got nothing.
Let's go Brett Hull.
Okay.
It's not correct because I think he played for like other teams.
I think he played a long time ago too.
He was older than that. So we're wrong. Yeah. What is the capital of the Philippines?
Isn't it Manila?
I think you are correct. Manila wafers.
Yeah. Manila envelopes.
Nailed it. Beverages featured in the movie Zombieland. What is the name of Mountain Dew's popular cherry-flavored variety that got introduced in 2001?
Ooh, that's got to be a Code Red, baby.
Code Red. I knew the word red was in it. I would have probably found it eventually, but you're the man when it comes to beverages. Television. Bear Grylls gained fame for this Discovery Channel. It was Man vs. Wild. Yep. So I'll tell you what the whole question is. Bear Grylls gained fame for this Discovery Channel show from 2006 to 2011, where he would get left stranded in a region and use his survival skills to find his way back to society. He is... I am thoroughly on Team Morgan Spurlock Not Morgan Spurlock. Les Stroud. Morgan Spurlock is Super Size Me.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Les Stroud is Survivor Man.
Morgan Spurlock is kind of a grifter from what I've or possible grifter.
Yeah, well, he just shows you the problem with documentaries. You should never change your worldview based on a documentary. If you like a documentary and you find the information in that documentary fascinating, go read books. Don't just be like, oh man, that documentary really changed my life. If a documentary changed your life, you should probably look further into something. By the way, our correct answers make a wiener.
So far, yes.
So far. Yeah. Movies. Turbo Man is the name of an action figure that parents are after in this 1996 Christmas family comedy film. Give me a chance at this one. What is this movie called? It is, because you know this.
I do know it, yeah.
This is a very famous movie. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sinbad, Schwarzenegger.
And Tom Arnold.
Little kid. Turbo Man, you know.
Turbo Man. Fuck. I can't get Kindergarten Cop out of my head, bro. I'm trying to think. Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Look at me, bro.
I will once again bring up the fact that my friend's parents adopted a kid from Haiti, and he said that Jingle All the Way was his favorite movie, and I was like, that movie stinks, and they were like, that's the only movie they had in the orphanage in Haiti where he's from, and more stories of me taking big L's.
That sucks ass. There's nothing more funny than a Big L story.
Objectively, Jingle All the Way stinks, though. It's not my fault. You know, I'm glad he likes it, but
you're like, you'll learn something. Let's tap him on the cheek a couple times. So music, last one. She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories. Are the opening lyrics to what 1987 Guns N' Roses song? What could this possibly be, Dusty?
Well, I was not in a cover band that covered this song, so who knows?
Oh man! So let's double dip.
Yeah.
We got that one right. So we've got 7 out of 9 questions correct. That's a pretty good day.
Yeah, that's a quality win.
So I say we double dip the Nate Robinson one. We got a much bigger chance of this one.
For some reason, I'm thinking the Pacers, but I don't know that he played for the Pacers.
See, I'm thinking. I don't think it's the Pacers because I don't remember him being on the Pacers. I remember him on the Knicks. I feel like he might have been on the Pistons at one point, but I'm not sure.
Oh, the Pistons is a good guess.
Are the Pistons an East team? He was on multiple teams. Like he's on a lot of teams.
Orlando. I would guess Orlando any good at this point? I can't.
2013. I don't know, dude. I don't know basketball. I don't know ball at all.
Ball is not life for me.
No. So what do you want to go Pacers? You want to go Pistons? You want to go something else?
I'll join with you again. I'll go Pistons because the Pistons were pretty good around this time, as I recall. So it's entirely possible.
Yeah, we were wrong. So let's look. 30%. Only 30% of people got that question right. Only 45 got the mashup. Go fuck yourself. So we ended up with 7. Let's look at what it is. The Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Oh man, one of the first. It completely left my head. I don't know if I would have brought it up, but when they said that, like when the question was asked, I remembered very briefly that he played for the Bulls.
Back to Scottie Pippen, you know.
The NHL guy is Luke Robitaille.
I'm happy for him. Good for him.
Yeah, good for you, Luke. Way to get those 1,100 points.
Let's do the box office game.
Okay, box office game takes 30 minutes, so we got to be careful with this.
No, be quick.
All right, box office game, weekend of August 4th, 2017. So everybody out there, if you're still listening, it gives us top 5 movies on a given weekend at any time. This is August 4th, 2017. It gives us the ranking, the distributor, the gross that week, and the total so far that the movie has earned. We have to spend points to get further clues. Usually we get the taglines from these movies. So August 4th, 2017, number 1 was from Sony Pictures, number 2 from Warner Bros., number 3 Sony Pictures, number 4 Universal, and number 5 is Aviron Pictures. Do you know the Aviron one?
No.
Can you think of that?
Maybe by the tagline. but
Yeah. So Sony Pictures number one, $19 million it made the week of August.
Hit me
4th,
with
2017.
the tagline.
There are other worlds than these is the tagline.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, that's an odd one.
Okay. I am saying let's go Star Trek Beyond.
Miss.
Ooh.
Did another Star Trek movie come out at that time?
No, that's why I was thinking that might be it.
Yeah.
Give me the first actor.
Idris Elba is the first actor.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, dude.
There are worlds beyond these.
I've got literally
no
it's
shot. The Dark Tower. Stupid ass Dark Tower.
It is the Dark Tower. You nailed it. Listen. I've never heard of that movie.
It's based on a Stephen King book, or like a series of Stephen King books.
Number 2 actor was Matthew McConaughey on that.
Yeah, and it was supposed to lead to like a whole series and an HBO series and all of this, but the Dark Tower is nearly impossible to adapt into a movie, and so it did very bad. None of that other stuff came out. So
yeah, it had a good first week, and it seemed like it kind of fell off after that.
All right,
because it only
number
made
2,
50 million domestically.
Warner Bros.
Number 2 is Warner Bros. 17 million, and this is down from the previous week, 36%. And overall, at this point, it had made $133 million. So this seems like it was a relatively successful movie.
Yep.
Would you like?
I would like the tagline. Yes.
When 400,000 men couldn't get home, home came for them.
This is Dunkirk. What was it?
Dunkirk. Also wouldn't have gotten that one. Kablammy. That is Dunkirk.
Yes.
Okay. Dunkirk pretty good?
I have actually never seen it. I think it's the only Chris Nolan movie I've never watched.
It's got Tom Hardy in it. I love Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, one of my favorite actors.
Oh yeah.
I watched the first half of The Revenant the other day. He's so good. And he was amazing in Peaky Blinders. He was like, have you seen Peaky Blinders?
I still haven't.
Dude, his character in Peaky Blinders is probably my favorite acting I've ever seen him do.
All right, Governor, and all this.
He's like he plays like he's a Jewish guy who's like intertwined with the mob, but he's also just a businessman. And he does have kind of like that all right accent, but it's Tom Hardy.
Right.
Like it's so good.
He's so good. Badass. I loved him in The Revenant. Could barely recognize him as the bear. You know, he
went really method on that when he shit in the woods. Yeah. He shit in the woods for a month. Number 3, Sony Pictures, 12 million that week, down 51%. So it had probably made like 25 million the week before. 49 million in a few weeks since then.
Give me the tagline.
Overall. The tagline is not easy being meh. So this seems like it's a comedy.
Yeah.
About a guy who like doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. Give me the actor.
Wait, could this be did a Garfield movie come out in 2017?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see what we got in terms of Garfield movies on here. Do any of these jump out at you?
No, because the only ones that I know for sure are Garfield and Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties, but those are older than 2017.
Let's see. T.J. Miller. Oh, this is Yogi Bear. No, might be. He was in Yogi Bear, but I don't know if Yogi Bear would have a "It's not easy being meh" tagline.
Yeah. I think this is the Emojis movie.
Really?
Or no, it's not the Emojis movie. I don't think.
Okay.
The Emoji movie. I think you might. Well, can I see the genre? Let's look at the genre, because that'll help.
Animation family comedy.
Okay. Let's go with yours. Let's go with Yogi Bear. See where we're at.
Yeah, but I don't know which one it is.
I think if we just...
that he's in. Just this one? Miss.
Okay, let's try the Emoji Movie.
Is the Emoji Movie? The Emoji Movie is animated,
Yes.
but the tagline doesn't make sense. Oh, it's correct. You
Yeah.
nailed it.
Okay.
Look at you,
I thought
dude.
the Emoji Movie came
Fuck
out
yeah.
in like seemed like a January, February movie to make money.
Oh yeah.
So
So this is number 4. It's Universal. Made 11 million this week, down 42% from the previous week. 85 million thus far.
Okay.
We do not know what it finally grossed at.
Yeah.
How many weeks had it been on?
4 weeks. Or no,
Does it
3
say?
weeks. It's been out 3 weeks.
Where does it say?
Where
that?
the last?
Oh, it's on the W
Yeah.
right here. Oh yeah, so it's 3 weeks. One tagline.
Yeah, give me the tagline.
Forgive us in advance for this wild weekend.
I believe this might be Hall Pass.
Ooh. Miss.
Oh, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
All right, give me an actor.
Idris Elba. Regina Hall.
Oh, this is a Girls Trip.
Girls Trip?
Yeah. The
Goddamn. I would not have gotten
the Hall Pass of its day, you know?
I wouldn't have gotten any of these movies. I would have wasted all my guesses trying to find a Garfield movie for
All
number
10
3.
of your guesses.
So number 5 is the Aviron Pictures one. It made 10 million that week, first week on the thing. Interesting having have you heard of Aviron Pictures?
I haven't, but there are a lot of production companies.
You want that tagline?
Yeah, give me that tagline.
Vengeance is Mom.
Okay. Hit me with the actor.
Halle Berry.
Oh, god dang it.
You know which one it is, but you don't know the name of it?
Yeah. What is the name of this movie?
She was in Monsters Ball. She was in Swordfish.
Yeah.
She was in that weird MMA movie that nobody watched.
Reveal all hints, because I'm not gonna get the name of this movie.
It avoids all of our bonus
I'm
points.
aware.
All right.
I'm not.
A mother in her minivan stuffs in nothing to recover her probably quadruped
No,
son.
it's Kidnapped. But it's called Kidnap.
Why? Oh, is that
I
why
think
they?
so.
Yeah. I thought it said quadruped.
Why would they bleep it out?
Why would they? I don't know, man. He's correct. He's correct.
Give me the
quadruped son.
That would mean the movie was called Quadruped.
I didn't know that's how that worked.
Yeah, let's look at the poster for Kidnap real quick.
Okay.
That wasn't even what I was thinking the name of it could be. Yeah, so yeah, I would have never got that. You know, like how sometimes you just know if you know, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were still in the 69th percentile. That's pretty decent. Like
nice. It's pretty nice if you ask me.
A mom in her minivan.
Jesus Christ. August 4th, 2017 was bleak.
Yeah, not a great week for things overall.
But anyway.
But we did it. And we did
it.
this podcast over.
Podcast over.
You know, like
what?
you know, like, subscribe, etc. No, thank you to everybody who listens, of course. Thank you for all of the feedback if you've provided it. We appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Sorry this one's a little bit long. We got in the weeds. Andrew's been gone. I haven't got to talk to my buddy in a while, you know.
Andrew's been gone.
Since Andrew's been gone,
I can breathe.
Since Andrew's been back, I can breathe for the first time.
That is true. That is true.
So anyway, thank you for listening. We appreciate you all. Be safe. Happy holidays, etc., etc. And we will be back next week because unlike August of 2017, things are only looking up for the Snark Marks podcast.
Hell yeah, dude. By the way, our next episode releases on Christmas Eve, so we got to think of some Christmas shit to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
We should send each other a stupid gift.
That's
Hold on, we're taking this off the
yeah.
pod. Love you guys.
Bye.